Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so good afternoon, one and all. Gathered in this virtual meet, I welcome you all to this flagship program, that is NEP Orientation and Sensitization Program. Friends, in today's session, there will be two lectures, as I already informed. And in the first lecture, we are invited Professor Dr. Aniket Gade sir. Sir, warm welcome you on behalf of the UGC Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center, Sant Galge Baba Amravati University, to this flagship program, that T20 Orientation Sensitization Program, launched by History of Health through grants run by Galge Baba Amravati Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center. Adesar is basically belongs to the Amravati University, but now he is serving as an associate professor at Department of Biological Sciences and Biotechnology, Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai, and he has also taken a lean from this institute also. Now he is I think at Poland for his for his postdoc fellowship or for his award. Sir has basically from the biological sciences and biotechnology background, and his research area is nanobiotechnology. Sir has more than 20 years of teaching experience, as well as the 20 years of teaching as well as the research experience. Under his able guidance, one PhD scholar has been awarded with his degree, and three students are registered under his able guidance. Sir has published n number of papers, research papers in national as well as international journals, and out of which have more impact factor, which is very crucial, which is very remarkable thing regarding his research. Sir has contributed for 25 workshops, and Sir has one major project, 6 minor projects. Sir has granted with 2 patents at national. Sir has received many more awards. Out of that, some of couple awards are the INSA Summer Research Fellowship for Teacher 2008. That will be a international award for the technology advances. Thereafter, postdoctorate Raman Fellowship to visit the USA for 2013 and 14. Young Biomedical Scientist during 2019-20 and 22-23, and now Polonis BIS MSCA Fellow. So I have previously informed you that Sir is a fellow at Poland for Polonis BIS MSCA from during 2023 to during 2005. When you have known that such a with us for today's session, and Sir will conduct a session for preparing the research proposal and quality research to enhance towards the with different introductions. Sir, I again warm welcome you and request you to start with your session. Sir, please.
Thank you, Ankit. So it's audible?
Yes, at least clearly audible, sir. Clearly audible.
Okay, thank you. What I would say, I could see some of my friends even in the room. So
yes, sir. Yes,
probably
sir.
I can just make it clear that this is not going to be a kind of a lecture as such, because you all are already involved with respect to doing research. So probably I'll just share a few points what I could think that might help you. Hopefully that might help you in doing a better research. So first of all, I'd just like to thank the organizers. At least they gave me an opportunity to share my views regarding the research and development. So I would just share a PowerPoint presentation. Just let me know whether it's been visible to you. Whether it's visible?
Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
Okay. As Ankit has already mentioned in the introduction, this Malviya mission for teacher training program, and recently we all are been concerned with respect to implementation of National Education Policy or NEP, which has been there. So with respect to this, they want to go for a capacity building of faculties which are of higher education institutes. So the faculties of higher education institute, just to go for their capacity building, they have given some 8 themes. And out of those 8 themes, probably this program which is already been running and today being the last date, you might have already came across the other themes which you have been there. The theme number 5 of this particular program is the one which deals with the research and development. And this theme is further been subdivided into 3 sub-themes, like sub-theme 1, introduction and constituent of research, a sub-theme 2, strengthening research and its contribution, sub-theme 3, assessment of the research potential, preparing research proposal and quality parameters of research. So the sub-theme 1 is introductory with respect to what is research. That is the one which I'll just briefly cover with, and then particularly I'll concentrate on sub-theme number 3, and out of those, preparing a research proposal and quality parameters of a research which are already been available. So this is a kind request to all the participants, just since this is not a kind of a lecture, uh, any slide, anywhere you think you want to interrupt, you can. You are free to do so. You can ask questions because it's mainly the main aim of this whole exercise. Is to have a better understanding and ability to do a better research. So considering with this, I'll just, this complete session, I've just divided into some of the subtopics. Like first, we'll try to understand what is research, what are the objectives of a research, then importance of a research, types of a research, what are components of a research problem, then selection of a research topic or problem, and then some other parts like methodology, how it should be, the applicant CV, what are the points needs to be remembered, what is the background and introduction should be there, that thing will go on. Then we'll also see some of the funding agencies which are already been available where you can submit your research proposals. And then once we complete with that, last point, which we'll just concentrate upon, there are some quality parameters for research publication. There are several indexes which have been given, like which we all are aware with respect to impact factor, which has been there, H index is there, I10 index is there, and G index is there. So we'll just try to overlook with respect to these index, what are they and which one is good and how they have been calculated. And last one, why, what is the importance of a patent? And these are the roughly points which we are going to touch. So just let us begin with our journey with respect to what is research. So what is research? In fact, all those who are in the room, probably they are concerned with respect to doing a research and they know very well what is research. But in spite of that, still I'm just trying to put up what is research in a simple words, like a logical and systematic search for new and useful information on a particular topic. We can call it as a research. So research is going to be an investigation of finding solutions to scientific, it can be social problems through objectives and systematic analysis. One of the notion which is there in the minds of most of the people is that if you say a research, this has to be restricted only to the persons, those who belongs to science and technology. So this is a myth which I just like to overcome. No, it's not that the research is confined only to science and technology people, but research can be done by each and every one of us. In fact, I would like to go one step further. Each one of us in your life, day-to-day life, in fact, directly or indirectly, keep on doing a research. Knowingly or unknowingly, they doesn't know, but they keep on doing a research. So that's a simple problem if I'll just have, like you can have a difference of opinion on that. Like if you have, because right now I am in Poland and here it's a bit chilly outside, the snow is there. So I just decided to if I will prepare a snowman, and someone might say that the snowman should not melt, then what can be done? Someone will say just by putting an overcoat to a snowman will prevent him from melting. Someone might say that by putting an overcoat, it's not possible because that will melt a snowman. Someone might say that it's not going to make any kind of a difference. So just to validate what actually happens, whatever thing which you will do is kind of a research. So research is as such is indeed a civilization and determines the economical, social, and political development of a nation. Research is done with the help of study experiments, observations which you do, analysis which you carry out. Sometimes even it's going to be comparison, and then giving a logical reasoning for the things which happens. So in short, we say that research is everywhere. So research is in fact a ubiquitous phenomena. Now, whenever you want to do with research, these are the 6 words. Out of this, at least one of the word will be included will be a part of your research. So these 6 words like who, where, why, what, when, and how. So generally, if your research is concerned with respect to a particular person, a gender, or with respect to particular personality, then we make use of a word like who. So if your research is been concerned with respect to a particular geographic location, then we use the word like where. If you are concerned with respect to a particular time limit during which the things happen, so we'll use the word like when. So if you just want to find out the reason behind, then we use the word like why. Why are you interested in this particular research problem? And by doing this research problem, why others should be interested, or what others are going to get the kind of information from this research? What are the issues related with a topic which have been there? Generally, we use the word like what. And what kind of information do you need? Primary sources, statistical analysis, and with your methodology, will use the word like how. So basically, out of these 6 words, who, where, why, what, when, and how, at least one word will be a part of your research which you are going to carry it out. So there's going to be different kind of research methodologies. म्हणजे रिसर्च मेथॉडॉलॉजी वेगवेगळ्या असू शकतात. ते डिपेंड करतं कशा प्रकारचा रिसर्च आपल्याला करायचा आहे. सो व्हॉट काइंड ऑफ रिसर्च ऍक्च्युअली वी वॉन्ट टू डू. Based upon that, probably we can have different kinds of a research. Some of the काही qualitative research असतो, काही quantitative research असतो, काही research by practitioner. So the thing might vary with respect to a faculty or field which you are going to carry out research. पण सगळेजणच रिसर्च करू शकतात, त्यांच्या स्वतःच्या मेथड वापरू शकतात. Say some of them, in case of a qualitative research, goes for content analysis or finding out the phenomenological or ground theory, or case studies can be done. In case of quantitative research, we do follow experimental quasi-experimental models or single subject, or it can be comparison like correlation studies. It can be even casual comparison, or sometimes even the surveys which have been carried out. म्हणजे हे कुठल्या तरी एक प्रकारची मेथड प्रत्येक जण आपला रिसर्च करताना सहसा वापरत असतो. कोणी कुठली मेथड वापरायची ते डिपेंड करतं तो कशा प्रकारचा रिसर्च करत आहे. पण कुठलाही रिसर्च करायचा असेल तर त्याला 3 महत्वाचे मुद्दे आहेत. रिसर्च जर सुरू करायचा असेल, the first thing in a research is you should have a problem or a issue. So if you have a problem, then only you can try to attempt to solve a problem. If you don't have a problem, then it becomes difficult. Generally, it's been said that, or even what George Bernard Shaw says that, do not give me an easy life. Pray that you should not get an easy life. Give me ability to solve all the problems. So problems are going to be there. Problems are going to be a part of a life of each and every person, those who have been there. So issues are there. N number of issues have been there. It can be scientific, it can be social, it can be environmental, or it can be so on. So the first basic thing, if you want to start with the research, is going to be having the issue or problem. So what problem does your research is going to address upon? Then once you know the problem is there, probably you have some kind of outline how to approach this problem so that you will come up with the solution. So we'll call it as research design. So how will the research achieve its objectives is what we'll call it as research design. And the third important thing is that's an important thing because we call it, it's a benefit. So why you want to do this particular research? So what will be the contribution by doing this particular research? Why you want to solve this particular problem? And by solving this problem, what you are going to get? तर प्रॉब्लेम असणे, त्या प्रॉब्लेमला कसा अप्रोच करणे आणि तो प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व्ह केल्यावर कशा प्रकारचा फायदा होईल, ह्या 3 महत्वाच्या गोष्टी आहेत. सो दीज आर द 3 इम्पॉर्टंट थिंग्स which are generally there if you want to go on with respect to a research problem. Now, why we said किंवा का आपण रिसर्च करायला पाहिजे? कारण की रिसर्च करताना इनडायरेक्टली it helps us to outline or prepare the step to approach the problem which has been there in your research. It provides with kind of an intellectual content for you, or it makes you creative. It makes you to give a better justification to the problems which you have solved. It gains you a lot of experience while doing a research. It gives an ability to anticipate the potential problems which you might even encounter in your day-to-day life. And it also gives you a realistic timetable to approach a problem. So these are the things which will be learned if you are going to do a research. So let's see what are going to be as such the objectives of a research. The objectives of a research are नवीन गोष्टी जर माहीत करायच्या असेल तर त्या रिसर्चनेच करता येतात. सो टू डिस्कवर न्यू फॅक्ट्स, to verify and test important facts even will be done by research. To analyze an event or process or phenomena to find out the cause and effect relationship. कुठली गोष्ट घडली तर का घडली? जसं कोविडच्या काळात सगळेजण म्हणायचे की लोणार सरोवर जो आहे तो पिंक झाला, तो गुलाबी का झाला? There is some scientific logic behind this particular phenomena. To develop new scientific tools, concepts, and theory to solve and understand scientific and non-scientific problems. To find solution to scientific, non-scientific, and social problems. To overcome or solve the problems which are occurring in your day-to-day life. Even is going to be part of a research. म्हणून मी म्हणतोय का सगळेजण आयुष्यात कुठल्या ना कुठल्या प्रकारचा रिसर्च करतच असतात, कारण की प्रत्येक जण आयुष्य जगत असतो, जे प्रॉब्लेम्स आले ते तो सॉल्व्ह करत असतो आणि पुढे जात असतो. So a problem is like it can be a theoretical, practical situations which can call for a thorough understanding and trying to find out a logical solution for the same. Research on existing theory can be done, and the concepts can help us to identify the range and applications of them. It is basically a fountain of knowledge and provide guidelines for solving the problem. अजून एक महत्वाची गोष्ट अशी आहे, रिसर्च याच्यासाठी आवश्यक आहे because the research forms the basis for most of the policies which have been developed by the government. म्हणजे जशी जर आपण आपल्याला माहित आहे मिड डे मील पॉलिसी सुरू केली, का सुरू केली? त्याच्यासाठी पहिले तुम्हाला काही रिसर्च करावाच लागला, त्याच्यासाठी काही डेटा आणावा लागला आणि मग त्यांना समजलं का ही मिड डे मील सुरू करण्याची काय आवश्यकता आहे. Similarly, you have other policies like direct beneficiary transfer to their accounts. So whatever the policies as such which have been prepared by a government, they requires even some kind of a preliminary investigation. The data, if it has been available, they can design those kind of policies. So it leads to the identification and characterization of materials, new living things, new stars, new products. So you can get new things which have been available by new only through research inventions. So if you make research inventions, novel phenomena or processes which can be known. So I can still imagine there was when I was in the masters, there were no mobile phones. But it was possible due to a research and development. Now we can be connected
अगर नहीं हुआ
with.
तो फिर ऐसे
So
ही कर
it's a
देना.
technological advancement will give a simple logic like I'm able to interact with you all being at the distant place like Poland. So this has been possible due to the advancement in a technology, and that
Is the
is basically due to a research.
not the
So social research
कंपनी मेटेल काय लिहिते तो काही
helps
कळत नाहीये ते बघ काय
find
आहे.
answers to a social problem.
कुठे हे
They explain their social phenomena
found
and seek solution to the
not
problems.
found
The research as
the
such leads to a new style of life and makes it delightful and glorious for all of us. So again, the question comes like I told you, there are three major components. One is you should have a problem. Second is you should have an approach to solve that problem. And the third one is benefit. So just part of the third one, why people should do a research, I would say. At least we all are from academics. And in case of academics, by doing a research, we do get benefits, like at least each one of us do go for career advancement schemes and where we have a point scale system. So at least we are supposed to complete minimum points so that we can be promoted to a next level. So by doing a research, it's possible for you to get a promotion. Even if you want to apply for higher posts, will give you better employment, increment in the salary. These are the basic things which are associated if you are going to do a research.
make people do research.
Sometimes you do get a different feeling to solve the unsolved and challenging problems. It will give you a joy of doing something, some sort of a creative work. It acquire respectability, will give you recognition. Even it develops the curiosity to find the new things. And moreover, generally, if your research is related with the society, it gives an opportunity to serve the society,
Organization
solve
development the
social problems which are there in society. So that was the basic what is research, why we should do research and so on. Now just moving on to types of a research. Research is broadly classified into two main types. One is fundamental research and another one is basic research. Sorry, fundamental or basic research, and the second one is applied research. So fundamental research, just trying to find out answer to certain phenomena like the one which I
Navy
mentioned.
system.
जसं मी सुरुवातीला सांगितलं का लोणार सरोवर हा गुलाबी का दिसत होता कोविडच्या काळात, तर त्याचं सायंटिफिक रिझन जर फाइंड आउट करायचं असेल तर दॅट्स गोइंग टू बी अ पार्ट ऑफ अ बेसिक रिसर्च. So why are materials like that? Why the sky looks blue? How does a crystal melt? Why is sound produced when water is heated? Why do you feel it's quite difficult when walking on a seashore as compared to a simple road which has been there? Why generally the birds fly in a particular shape while flying in a group? Again, if you just want to find out the reason for all that, that's going to be a part of your basic research. Then what is applied research? So when you carry out a research and outcome of that research has a immediate potential application, then we call it as a applied research. So if I want to increase the efficiency of a particular machine, it's the same thing. Increasing gain factor of production of a particular material will be applied research, which controls the pollution. So development of a vaccine during COVID, again, vaccination for that particular disease is applied research. Development of a drug or designing a drug for any particular disease, developing a diagnostic kit, So these are some of the examples which can be associated with respect to applied research. So if you just want to compare basic and applied research, which has been given here. Basic research generally seeks generalization. Applied research studies individual or specific case without generalization. Basic research aims at basic process, whereas applied research aims at variable which makes some desired differences. Basic research attempts to explain why things happened. Applied research tries to say how things can be changed. Basic research tries to get all the facts. Applied research tries to correct the facts which are problematic. So the basic research reports are generally going to be in technical language, whereas the applied research report needs to be in a common language which should be understood by the common people. The another classification is like quantitative and qualitative research. Quantitative, it's numeric, non-descriptive, applies statistics, mathematics, and uses numbers. It is iterative process whereby evidence is being evaluated. The results are often presented in tables and graphs. It has to be conclusive enough, and it includes the words which we have seen earlier in the slide, like what, where, and when of a decision making are involved with respect to a quantitative research. Then what is qualitative research? A qualitative research, it's not numeric, descriptive, applies reasoning and uses words. So it aims to get the meaning, feeling, and describing the situation. म्हणजे सिच्युएशनच्या रिलेट असल्याच्यानं याचा डाटा तुम्ही ग्राफिकल रिप्रेझेंटेशन मध्ये नाही करू शकत. इट्स एक्सप्लेनेटरी. It investigate why and how of a decision making. So just to have a simple example, if you just want to differentiate between quantitative and qualitative research. So like they wanted to identify how many person, when the scheme was launched to have a free ice cream, how many total from a group were interested in getting a free ice cream. So here you have a data, like what was your group, how many people were there, and how many people could actually afford that particular event, and so on. Whereas in case of a qualitative method, what did you feel when you saw the free ice cream board? That feeling you cannot quantify. So it's going to be a kind of a qualitative research. So if I say it's a bit difficult to quantify, so naturally that's going to be a part of a qualitative research. So if you want to just write a research proposal or research project, these are the 10 components are going to be there. First is you need to select a research topic, then define this research topic or research problem, carry out exhaustive literature survey and referencing, assess the current status of the topic, who all are working in the area and in which direction they are working, then formulation of a hypothesis or research design. And then once a research project is been given, then you'll go for actual investigation, data analysis, interpretation of result, and last part will be a report writing. So selection of a research problem. How a research problem should be. म्हणजे research problem कशा प्रकारचा असायला हवा. Topic should be suitable for research. Researcher should have actually the interest in that particular topic. Otherwise, he is not going to do it in a better way. Some sources of identification of a research topic and problem could be like, if you have some theory of your own interest, that can be taken. Or you can take some daily problems as a part of your research problem. Some technological changes you can compare. Some of the recent trends which have been there. Some of unexplored areas which nobody has worked, probably that it can be the area which you can take. So while doing all those things, it's always advisable to have a discussion with some of the experts in that particular field or your research supervisor, take their guidance. So that will help you to formulate a better research problem. So how a research problem should be? Means that problem is really interesting to a researcher and a scientific community, you just verify. Ask a question to yourself. whether the research problem which I am going to take is really interesting to me and is going to be to a scientific community as well. Is the research problem significant to the present status of the topic? Are there sufficient supervision and guidance which is available in this particular area? Can the problem be solved in required time frame? This is again important because I still remember when I started my PhD, everybody wants to do a work which is equivalent to getting a Nobel Prize. But in course of a time, you understand that how much part can be done and how much kids be. So some basic rules are like you look for the resources which are available at your end and which particular problem you can justify in this particular area. And it's basically been advisable. The colleges and universities have been open. They should basically address the local problems which have been there, because these are not going to be these are going to be unique to this university region people, not to the other university. So each university has got different locations, though they have different local problems which will be there, which can be basically targeted and to find out the solution. Are the necessary equipment, adequate library and computational facilities are available? So this is what we call it as resourcefulness. What are the resources which have been available? Within that, you should try to have your problem. In fact, there is no such thing like having a problem which is a novel problem or something different. A problem is a problem. It's how well you address that problem and try to find out a solution is going to be a key. कारण की बऱ्याच वेळा कॉलेजेसचे लोक पण आम्हाला हेच म्हणतात का हे काय कॉलेजमध्ये काय रिसर्च करायचं आहे, तिथे तर काही फॅसिलिटीज नाहीये. अरे फॅसिलिटी नाहीये तुमच्याकडं, पण probably you can collaborate with the other person who has got the facility and at least try to do some kind of a work. So I would just like to quote that when I started working in the nanotechnology in Department of Biotechnology, Amravati University doesn't have electron microscope. Then how you are going to work in a nanotechnology? So we just decided, let us see what are the things which have been available. And slowly in a course of a time, we could collect all the equipments which have been required, except electron microscopy, because electron microscopy, there are sophisticated facilities which have been available from where you can get your sample, you can analyze and you can move ahead. So it's not, फक्त तुम्हाला जर काम करायचं आहे, तर you will try to find out the way how the work can be done. जर करायचं नसेल तर मी एक्सक्यूज पण खूप प्रकारच्या देऊ शकतो. So that's what tells about your attitude, whether you really wants to do a research work and find out a solution, or you just want to give on excuses. So when you figure out or frame your project title or research problem which has been there, take care that it should be good. So how you'll define that, how it is good? So basically a research title, it should be concise. And that should give, just by looking at the title, you should get an idea what kind of a research problem you are going to address. So मग कुठल्या गोष्टी अवॉइड करायच्या जेव्हा मी टायटल फ्रेम करणार असेल? Generally avoid too long and technical of a title which will not gain the reviewer's attention or interest. Neither your title should be too short and broad title, which again will make a reviewer to be too critical for while giving a grant if it is a research proposal. So introduction section मध्ये काय काय असायला पाहिजे? The problem is introduced in this section, needed information to understand the objectives and approaches which will be there in the proposal, discuss some preliminary data or work which is already been done, structure the introduction to go from broad topic and then bring it to a specific one. We generally follow a funnel system or funnel technology we follow while writing such kind of a thing. Build up the introduction towards answering a specific question that is unknown. Introduction should be short, about 1 or 2 pages. It should not be more. Remember that. Introduction just should introduce the topic, should introduce the problem and how you are going to approach that problem. That's all. The problem should be stated in such a way that is important and relevance is realized by one and everyone who's been there. तर मग याच्यात काय नसायला हवं इंट्रोडक्शन मध्ये? Do not expand background or introduction to unnecessary information that does not support the hypothesis which you are going to address. Background should not exceed 1/3 or half of a proposal. Or I told you that it should be 1 to 2 pages. It should not be too long. Don't write an introduction or background for 5 pages. If you are not going to quote preliminary data, generally it will impact your research proposal in a negative manner, which says that there is no indication that the proposal is going to be feasible, no indication that the applicant can do the proposed work. म्हणजे प्रपोजल जेव्हा आपण सबमिट करतो फंडिंग एजन्सीला, हे एक प्रकारचं बँक लोन घेण्यासारखं असते. जसं ऍप्लिकेशन, that funding agency should be secure that the problem which you have addressed is really executable and you can really find out some solution for this particular problem. Then only they'll be able to give you a grant. But if they are not convinced, naturally your research proposal will be rejected. One of the important aspects is that on that problem, you need to do exhaustive literature survey. And why? Why a literature survey is required? What approaches have others used to tackle that problem? Basically, whether that problem was been tackled earlier or not. If it has been tackled, whatever the approaches used. What are the shortcomings of approaches were used by them? What different approach you will be making use? Novelty in familiarity and familiarity in novelty is generally the concept which we apply. Placing in current context, avoiding duplication of a data, clarification of controversial result, state of the art, extend and build on the work of others. So basically, I would say a literature survey is important to find out the research gaps which have not been addressed by the other researchers. So they are the one which can be targeted by a researcher. So I told you there is generally a funnel system which we follow if you want to go for a good literature review. So we should always start from the introduction, which is generalized, which is everybody knows, and keep on going to a specific point which you would like to address, which the reader doesn't know. So this is how generally the flow should be. From broad, like if I just want to work on the field like finding a drug for malaria, so first I should tell you what is malaria, what are the epidemiological factors and so on. Then generally how malaria multiplies, their life cycle and other, what are the controls which are available in the market. And then I'm going to tell you the kind of approach or the hypothesis will be followed during my research. So this is how generally you move on in a funnel system. So the objective stated should be specific, achievable, and measurable. How the objectives of your research should be there? The objective should be specific, achievable, and measurable. It depends upon which kind of a proposal you're going to apply. If it is a minor research proposal, it's better limited to 2 to 3. If it is a major research proposal, you can limit at the max to 4 objectives. Don't go for more objectives, which is not been possible to justify because major research proposal will be for 3 years. If it is for 5 years proposal, probably you can have 5 objectives. Always give what your expected results will be. That means what you are going to find it out from this. Always give alternative approaches if the problems arise. What is the way you are going to address? Address feasibility. If you have not demonstrated that, you can do the probable experiment which you are going to propose for research problem. Address the innovation wherever possible in the research problem. Justify the use of specific reagent or particular animal models which will be using for your research. Confirm results with multiple approaches and make aim 1 less risky compared to other aim, because it's been said that well begin is half done. So at least first objective should be easily been achieved. So that will give you a kind of encouragement for you to move ahead in execution of your research proposal. So what needs to be avoided if you want in terms of writing your aims and objective for the proposal? Many specific aims are bad. If it is a 2-year proposal, just limit your objective to 2 to 3. If it is 3-year proposal, 3 to 4. So based upon the proposal and the grant you will be asking, according to that, the objective should be. Avoid too many specifiers on the experiments. Structure aim so that aim and objective two is not totally dependent on the one. हे सांगण्याचा उद्देश असा आहे का जर माझा पहिलाच ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह प्रॉब्लेमॅटिक आहे आणि तो जर होत नसेल तर मी दुसऱ्या ऑब्जेक्टिव्हकडे जाऊ शकत नाही. सो दॅट शुड नॉट बी द केस. You should have even alternative approaches. If the first approach doesn't work, how you'll go with second and move on to a second objective. Do not avoid issues with the field of research. Then what's going to be the purpose? Funnel point is your purpose, basically. The purpose can be framed as a research question or hypothesis, which should be concise, one sentence, and you want to find out the solution for your problem. Methodology section should use to judge the validity of results and conclusions. So in this section, your proposal will have generally the multiple part, the kind of instruments, infrastructure available, how you are going, if it is not been available at your end, how you are going to approach others, study groups and ethnic groups you are going to target, access to a samples, what kind of a data analysis which you are going to do, and justify which particular method we are going to execute. Then show your understanding about the principles. In short, you need to support the data which will prove a feasibility of a research. There is going to be a significance of the impact which needs to be given in a research proposal. Significance, what are the points should be kept in your mind? Last significance is basically the last point to convince the funding agency that why they should give you a research project. The last chance to impress the reviewer on the importance of what you are proposing, give a sense of future directions to this research. Why is this research innovative? Impact on the field or on the disease being studies should be stated in this one. What you should avoid if you are going to write a significance and impact. No significant statement will impact badly to your research proposal, and it should not be superficial. In fact, if I just say it's going to cure cancer, it's not going to. You need to give a logical explanation how come it will be useful for combating a cancer. Then there's going to be a important part with respect to the budget. Give a detailed account where you will be spending the money. Approximately 1/3 of the budget should go to the supplies. There should be a balance between the recurring and non-recurring items, because budget has got two kinds of a head. One is recurring, so which will keep on getting every year. Non-recurring is the one which you will be getting only in the first year and not in subsequent year. So there has to be a balance between the recurring and non-recurring budget head. Is there any question? Okay, I thought there was some sound, so might be some question or query will be there. So generally in a budget, do not justify spending all the budget on like travel or contingency. So you need to give a balanced budget. The applicant CV, how it should be there. So you should always list all possible awards, especially awards directly related to the research proposal you are applying for. List all publication in the last 5 years. Abstracts are an easy way to know how or to show the productivity of your research which is already been done. Give impact factors for publication and citations if possible. Give ranking of journal in your research field of research if possible. What you should avoid in case of applicant CV, no evidence of research activity or track record related with the research proposal which you are going to apply. All middle authors for publication you try to avoid. It's advisable to give only the publications where either you are first author or corresponding author, or generally first two authors sometimes are going to be the main authors. So only those publications should be listed. Now, this is the important thing which has been there. Once your draft of a research proposal is available, you need to verify whether there is no plagiarism or similarity which has been there in your research proposal. Otherwise, because nowadays all the research funding agencies has got the tools which check for the similarity indexes. So your research proposal will be rejected immediately if there is any kind of a similarity which has been found. So you have to be very careful and find out. Now, we are humans. We are like to make even the similarity index, which has been there, which is not foolproof. Sometimes you get a very high similarity, but you need to find out what for the similarity which has been shown. So for that, we need some kind of a tool. And just to know you that UGC and FlipNet centers has provided this plagiarism detection software to all the universities. So it is requested, म्हणजे सगळ्या कॉलेजेसला ही एक रिक्वेस्ट आहे. प्रत्येक कॉलेज ज्या युनिव्हर्सिटीशी ॲफिलिएट आहे त्या युनिव्हर्सिटीकडं हे टूल किंवा सॉफ्टवेअर अवेलेबल आहे. सो यू आस्क फॉर द युनिव्हर्सिटी टू गेट इट plagiarism check. Nowadays it is mandatory when you submit your thesis, at least in Amravati University, this is mandatory that you are supposed to submit even the similarity report for your thesis as well. So that way for thesis that is mandatory, पण रिसर्च प्रपोजल साठी किंवा इवन कुठला पेपर तुम्ही सबमिट करताय, इट्स ऑलवेज ऍडवाइजेबल टू चेक फॉर द प्लॅगॅरिझम विच इज बीन देअर. So Drillbit is the new tool which has been there, which is been given by InflipNet. This is the newer version which is to original which was earlier. This newer version is been given from 1st October 2023 onwards. And this is a part of UGC InflipNet in which they have a show the Shuddhi section which has been there. They are the one which are concerned with respect to giving this kind of a facility. Generally, it's available with all the university. I still remember this facility is available in the Amravati University library. So you just need to ask the library people for the same. So while doing a research, ethical problems or ethical issues are important. That needs to be addressed. So you have to not to copy paste the things, not to take the others concept. Just you try to explain the way you want to do the things. So the ethics comes or ethical issues are going to be important in case of this. So once your research proposal is ready, what I would say, because all those things you have already written the title, you have written the introduction or background, then gone for the literature survey. Literature survey has been followed by explaining methodology, significant statement, objectives, applicant CV. So all the sections of a research proposals are completed along with the budget. So remember that this is the reviewers will not be the expert in your field of research. So you need to present the research proposal in a such a way that they should be able to understand. Generally, what I say is that get your research proposal read by a colleague or someone in your area of research. They might find some probable lacunas which are there, which the reviewers will also find. But this is advisable to do just to have additional check with your research proposal which has been there. So if you want to do a research or submit a research proposal, what we need, remember that these are the things which have been required. Your interest in doing a research project, need some sort of a motivation, academic support, which has already been there in the form of CAS, career advancement schemes, which have been there. Administrative support, naturally, the facility or infrastructure should be made available by the college or university. Financial support, this is what you're going to get it. But apart from that, you do need some additional support, which can be given by your college or should be given by the university. Support from your subordinates or colleagues. You should have a support even from family side as well, because if you are happy with your family, naturally it will help you to give more time to your research. And naturally, you should be healthy enough so that you can give more time for your research. Now, many a time, most of them ask, like, to do a research, from where I can get the fund? Even this is a basic problem, because nowadays I could see that earlier UGC was there, and most of the academicians from colleges is to apply for a UGC for major or minor research project. They used to get it, but nowadays it's been stopped. After 12th plan, there are hardly any research proposals which have been accepted by the UGC. So is it the aim that there are no any other funding agencies available which can give the funding? So I would like to tell you there are several funding agencies as such available with different levels as such. There are some institutional level funding agencies. I would just like to quote, recently in Amravati University, there was a scheme launched for research and research proposals were called under the scheme Rajiv Gandhi Science and Technology Commission. So it was a good scheme. So where you are supposed to apply your research proposal, though it was equivalent with respect to the minor research, the fund was provided was almost 5 lakhs. But those kind of schemes have been available. Even sometimes university do provide their own fund, or even the college can provide the fund. There are some local bodies even which are interested in giving a fund or doing address some kind of a problems which have been there. There are state level bodies. Rajiv Gandhi Science and Technology Commission is a state body. Central government bodies like DBT, DST, DRDO, Ministry of Environment and Research, BRNS. So there are n number of central government bodies which have been there. If you could go one more step further, there are international bodies. Right now, for my postdoc, I'm getting a fellowship which is from European Union. So it's an international body. So even there are facilities are available. Only the thing is that you need to find out those sources and need to apply for them. And it's possible to get those things. Even there is a ICR funds which has been available in most of the companies. Even they do encourage small research projects. Even NGOs nowadays are encouraging the research proposal. So the funds are available at different levels as such. And many a times I used to get it like, okay, this all the funds are available only for science teachers and not for from arts and commerce. So I've deliberately tried to put this particular slide where our teachers can find the funding. They can find the fundings from Indian Council of Social Science Researchers. ICSSR provides research proposals for them. There are major and minor research projects which have been funded by this body. There is Central Institute of Indian Languages, which provides funds for doing research in languages. Indian Foundation of Arts is there, Ministry of Culture, Government of India, UGC, which nowadays doesn't provide. Indian National Trust for Art and Cultural Heritage even provides the fund. So these are the different areas which have been covered by ICSSR, the broad disciplines of study within the domain of social sciences. You can see that it will provide for all the kind of a research like sociology and social anthropology, political science, economics, international studies, social geography, population studies, commerce and management, social psychology, education, and so on. So there is not a single field which is been limited. Now, this is with respect to the budget, how far the things should be concentrated. When you frame a budget, you need to apply a project to ICSSR. So I just will avoid being going into the detail. These are the guidelines which are available on the website for ICSSR, even that you can follow. Because I told you in a budget, generally there are two kind of fund. One is recurring, another one is non-recurring. So if you are going to ask for the salary of a research staff from that, naturally that will be the recurring one. The field work, even you require a travel, will be recurring one. Equipment and study material, generally this is non-recurring, will be one-time grant. Contingency will be recurring. Even publication report, you can ask some fund for this. Even publication charges, you can ask for from funding agencies. Institutional overheads, which is maximum should be 5 to 10% of a total grant, which will be given to an institute, either a college to a university. So projects are going to be generally of major project or minor projects. It's always advisable to take a smaller step, start with the minor, and then you can go with the major. But if you are confident enough that you can crack the major project, no issue. It's not mandatory. It's not a rule that always minor project should be taken first. But it's sometimes we don't want to take a risk and we want to go slowly. So advisable, go with the minor. Once you get a confidence enough, you can move for the major research projects. So these are some of the funding agencies which are available, like AICT, All India Council for Technical Research, CSR, which has been there, DRDO is there, DAE, Department of Atomic Energy, Department of Biotechnology, Department of Coal, Department of Ocean and Development, DST, which has been there, Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, DSIR, Indian Council of Medical Research, Indian Meteorological Department, Indian Space. So you can see there are a lot many funding agencies as such are available, which will give you all kind of funds which have been available. You need to track there when their funding or the application process will open and when you are supposed to apply and so on. जेव्हा तुम्हाला करायचं असेल तर त्या गोष्टी अवेलेबल आहेत. फक्त तुमची करायची इच्छा पाहिजे. इफ यू हॅव, I would say, if there is a will, there is a way. So that's how the things goes. Even these are for organizations or business. They do provide, even some of the companies which have been there, they do provide the funds. All India Books, Aerofood, Aero Shiksha, Bombay Natural History Society, they do provide a fund for doing the research. Credit Himat Singha, IOL, Indian Oil Corporation, Indian Tobacco Company, Intac, Janagri, JRD Tata Trust. So this is how you need to go for. In fact, I still remember when I was a part of a department of biotechnology, there was one of a researcher who could ask a fund for Lady Tata Memorial Fund for doing a PhD, and he received the fund. The thing is that you need to find out the options and then you go for applying. It's possible to get those funds. So we already know with the state agencies like Rajiv Gandhi Science and Technology Commission, which is always open for minor as well as major. Even you can apply to university or even you can directly apply for a major grant to Rajiv Gandhi Science and Technology Commission, Wasteland Development Board, Rural and Jilla Panchayat, even they provide Pollution Control Board, Agriculture Marketing Research. So these are the other departments as well. They are also going to provide you grants, but you should have a proper proposal for those. So even there are European economic commissions, like there are projects which have been given by WHO, WMO, FAO, UNICEF, UNDP, all these international agencies as well do provide a fund for a research. Even you might have heard about Bill Gates Foundation. Every year it calls for a call of proposal, and it's possible to get those funds. So even there is National Science Foundation, Australian Research Council, Gates Foundation, I mentioned, Wellcome Trust, the World Academy of Sciences, Third World of Associate Countries, which has been there twice, also provides a fund for doing a research. Apart from this, there are bilateral science and technology programs. And I would like to mention that when I was a part of a department, we had a project like Indo-Brazil project. So in this project, we could use to synthesize the nanoparticle by using different fungus. The characterization part we used to carry out in the institute from the Brazil, that is Campinas University, which was been there, Department of Chemistry, which was involved with us. So such kind of project even have been funded by DST for bilateral science and technology programs. Then we have Indo-Argentina project, where similar collaborative work, some of the part will be done in India, some of the part will be done in the Argentina and will help us to complete the project. So these are some of the international organizations like European Commission as mentioned, like right now I'm getting a fellowship from European Commission. So there are other types of fellowships even have been available. Even they provide a grant or research grant as well. Indian Canadian Environment Facility, ICF is available, OECD or Hunger Campaign, which is there, they provide. John Templeton Foundation, FAO, which has been there, and UNESCO. These are some of the things. It's a bit difficult to make out about all the organization or enlist all the organizations which will be providing a funding for research. So the best way is like to make use of find out in your area of research which are the possible funding agencies, and you can just concentrate on those. If you try to find, you will get the options which you can apply. Even Commonwealth facilities are available. The Commonwealth Higher Education, they provide the support, awards, fellowship, even faculty exchange programs which have been given by Commonwealth Fellowship. Even there are special programs for women. Even I would like to mention here. There are some schemes which are there from a funding agency which are specially for women. So even they have been encouraged to apply for those fellowships. There is British Marshall Scholarship as well. So just to tell you that, just I'll, because it's a bit difficult to tell you about all the types of a possible fellowship, and the requirement of an individual is going to vary from to other individual, because they have a different area in which they are going to do their research and their research proposal which has been made. So naturally you need to find out what is suitable for you. So according to that, but I would say that तुमची करायची इच्छा आहे तर फंडिंग ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी खूप साऱ्या अवेलेबल आहे. एकदा अप्लाय केलं, रिजेक्ट झालं म्हणून काही गोष्ट नाही. दॅट कॅन बी टेकन ॲज अ लर्निंग स्टेप. Even we do say that. I've told you that in even in my CV, it was shown that I have done 1 minor and 6 major research proposal. But actually, it's not been given how many research proposals were submitted by me. That is never been given. But it says that you keep on trying, probably the things might work, and it will be work. If you are going to do a genuine work, it's going to get, or it's bound to get, the recognition. Just to wind up all this research proposal and what we have talked about funding agency, just remember that if I want to do a research before, I need to really do a search. That is research. So I need to do a research before I do a research. This is what it says that. Hopefully you understand the meaning of that. Now, I just would like to move on to the publication matrices which have been available. Nowadays, if you want to publish a paper in a journal of a high impact factor, this is how the situation is there. Once you submit a paper, in fact, there are reviewers, those who have got only one option, that how to reject this particular paper. But you have to be firm that why your research is important, and how just whatever the queries which have been raised by the reviewers, we should be able to counteract. So this is going to be the similar situation. But if you could cross all those hurdles, probably you are going to get a notification that your paper is been accepted for the publication. And that will give you all the kinds of a fail, getting a paper published in a journal of a high impact factor. So there are few measuring indices which have been used to go for the research impact. I have not gone with all. There are n number, but there are 4 major which have been there, which I would like to list here. One is impact factor, second is H index, third is I10 index, and the fourth is G index. So we'll just talk about these 4 indexes, and which will give you an idea about. So what is impact factor? Impact factor is nowadays, because it's been required, it's a bibliometric index which is generally been managed by a Thomson router, and which is published annually, and it's been published through JCR, Journal Citation Reports, which has been there, and which is a paid service. So each journal needs to get impact factor for them. And this has been based upon a data which has been available with the Web of Science data. So impact factor for a particular journal will change each year. So how it has been calculated? There is a simple formula which has been given how to calculate the impact factor for that particular journal. It's like the number of citation which have been received by that journal in last 2 years divided by total number of articles which have been published by that journal in last 2 years. So how many citations for the articles which you have published, you get it, divided by how many articles you publish. So that will give you the impact of a kind of research articles which have been published by that particular journal. So simple logic, higher is the impact factor. Naturally, it's a better journal. So you have a Nature series which are having a higher impact factor, 30 plus and so on. But generally, we academician, even if you could crack more than 10 is going to be sufficient, even 5 to 10 or 2 to 5, it's better. So it's up to you. But higher the impact factor, better is a journal. This is what it says. Then there's going to be impact factor just tells you about that particular publication. It doesn't tell you a complete idea about the research profile of a researcher. So if you want to get a better idea about research profile of a researcher, there's going to be another index, which is called as H index. It is known as Hirsch number or Hirsch index, which we call it. Naturally, it's been given by George A. Hirsch in 2005, and by his name, this particular index which is being known. So how does this particular index is been defined? जर हे तुम्हाला कॅल्क्युलेट करायचं असेल तर कसं कॅल्क्युलेट करायचं? H index is quite easy. It can be defined as for a given value of H, the researcher should have H number of published articles that are cited at least by H time. So say for example, if a researcher having a H index of 10, it means that that researcher has published at least 10 articles which are having at least 10 citations. This is the meaning of H index. Generally, higher the H index, greater the impact of research paper will be. H index can be used to measure the quality and quantity of a research paper simultaneously. Now, where you can get this H index, it's been already been calculated if you are having account with the Google Scholar. So I'll just click on the Google Scholar to show you. I don't know whether the site is visible to you all. I don't know whether are you there with me or I'm alone.
Side is not
Hello.
visible, sir.
Okay, slide is not visible. I'll just try to share with the other page which has been there so that it
Sir,
should
slide
be
is visible right now. What is H index? I can see.
okay. I just wanted to show you the web page of a Google Scholar. So I'll go
Okay,
with
okay. No,
that.
web
I'll
page
stop
is not
sharing this.
visible.
Okay. I'll share another screen. So probably you get an idea with respect to that.
Okay.
So I just wanted to, in fact, I wanted to share that web page where Google Scholar is been shown. But that tab, I think, I don't know whether it's been seen or not. We are there with you or I've just logged out? Okay, I'm still there. I'll just share screen. Probably there are no options which have been there. There are just options like PowerPoint, writing proposals for that. It doesn't have anything which has been there with the tab. Okay, I'll just is possible to see now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good enough. So I just wanted to tell you, this is not everybody will have their own contribution with respect to the research will be there. So here you could see that Google Scholars will give you an idea about how many citations you have till now since 2019, how many citations are there, what is going to be your H index, what is going to be your I-10 index, which we are not explained yet. But H index here 45, which has been given, it means that at least this researcher has got 45 publications which are being cited by 45 times at least. So that is the meaning which I just wanted to tell. This has been followed with respect to the other one. Like we can just go on. Google Scholar will give you an idea about H index, I index, and citations. Now the next one is with respect to our web presentation, which has been there. Is a scopus. So even if I just try to look for the scopus which has been there, so now you could see with the corpus, if you go to a scopus site, even it can give you an idea about H index. Is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. So naturally, for any particular research, there is a unique ID which has been available, and with the help of this ID, it's possible for you to retrieve a research data related with that particular researcher. It's been available with, like I told you, Google Scholar earlier we have seen. Now this was with the Scopus. Probably I can show you with respect to one more, and that can be with respect to Web of Science. Even we can go for. So even in a Web of Science, if you go to this particular page, you have like total documents, how many Web of Science, and you have a data like H index, what is going to be there, which will be published. So again, one of the things which you can observe is that there is a variation with respect to the H index, which has been given by all the three: Google Scholar, Scopus, and Web of Science. The simple reason for that is because they have their own criteria to look for the citations. So in case of Web of Science, they look for the journals which are or the articles which are abstracted with respect to the Web of Science. Similarly, Scopus will look for only those or which are abstracted with respect to Scopus, whereas Google Scholar takes into the consideration of all. So it's like on HTML pages, wherever that your name and research publication will be mentioned, which might not be abstracted in a Scopus or Web of Science, can be taken up by Google Scholar. So the H index which is given by Google Scholar will be always higher as compared to Web of Science and Scopus. Then just moving on to next slide. What is I-10 index? I-10 index, which is provided by the Google Scholar, which we have already seen. So it's simply been defined as a measure of having publications. So if you have publications which have been cited at least 10 times. So if I say that a researcher is having a I-10 index of 34, which means that that researcher has 34 publications which have been cited 10 times. So generally, even it helps to increase the weightage of any student profile as well as others. And Scholar Google provides access to I-10 index. Now there is one more index which has been there, and this index is called a G index, and which has been given by Leo Egi in 2006. Now this index has been based upon the drawback which has been associated with the H index. The H index simply which has been defined as if you have a H index of 5, which means you have 5 publications with a citations at least 5 or more than that. But sometimes a researcher have few articles which have been highly been cited, so their H index won't be much. So that's going to be a kind of a partiality or the drawback with respect to the H index. Just to counteract that or to overcome that drawback, they have derived this particular G index. So G index, which will help in boosting the profile of a researcher, giving preference to a highly cited papers, which is an advanced version of H index. It measures the citation performance of a set of articles which are highly cited. So say, for example, if a G index is 20, which indicates that the top 20 publications by that researcher has got more than 400 citations, then the G index will be 20. And since G index is going to be with respect to cumulative citations, the G index is always higher than a H index. So those were the things which are available with respect to the matrices. This is one part. You can go for publications, but there's another part to that. After doing the research, if you decide that you don't want to go for publishing your research, so you can go for patenting. Now, so that can be done and you can get a patent. It's advisable because once you publish, it's much more difficult to get the patent because the information is already been out. So So once the information has been out, you won't be able to get a patent. So what is patent? Which already we know that patent is basically invention that begins with an idea. Even you can patent idea. You can patent that, but the detailed patent proposal needs to be submitted within 12 months, related with the idea how far it is executable. And the patent is the right which will be given for 20 years. So the right will be available to you. You can sell that patent to even any particular company and so on. Not necessary you can go only for the publications. So you can license a company and can take a fee from those company for your invention. So what can be patented? Always remember that an invention can be patented and not a discovery. And we know what is invention. Invention is where basically the human brain will come into the picture for designing of a concept. It was not already present in a nature. The thing which is already been present in a nature and which is been known, we call it as discovered. And the thing which is been designed, which was not earlier present in a nature, is what we call it as invented. So just an example which has been given, like sometimes if it is, we know that there are going to be circular wheels. If you design a square wheels with the advantages, probably might be a new concept. So you need to remember that it's always an invention that can be patented and not a discovery. And there are few areas where you cannot go for patenting, like a prescription given by a doctor to a patient, which cannot be uh, patented, or even a method of treatment given by a doctor to a patient, it cannot be patented. So in simple, what is a patent? There are three criteria, because patent will give an exclusive right will be given to a innovator as compared to others. And generally patent rights are territorial, because I have seen that some of them apply for international patent to get Australian patent. It means that you have a right only to sell that particular thing in Australia, not in India. So these patent rights are territorial. So getting an Indian patent always better. You can sell that particular product in India. You can go for multiple countries if you want. It's been possible that with the TRIPS convention, it is possible that you can apply for the US patent and other patents as well. So there are three basic criteria if you want to patent the thing. It should be new. It should be non-obvious to any person or skilled in that particular relevant field. And third thing is it should have some kind of an industrial application. So if these three basic criteria has been followed, you can go for patenting. The interesting thing about Indian patent system is that you can patent a product or you can also patent a process in India. Whereas in US patent system, it's not with the process. They all are concerned only with the product. So it's not only if you have one product, and if you are going to give a different procedure to prepare that product, even that can be patented. So that's how the beauty of an Indian patent system, which has been there. Indian patent system can be awarded for a process or even for a product. And this is the right which is given for 20 years to a inventor. There are few things which cannot be invented, or non-patentable inventions which have been there. I would say these are the list which has been given. So you need to remember these things, that your process or product should not come into this particular criteria. A method or treatment of humans and animals, inventions that cause serious prejudice to human, animal, and plant life and to our environment. Computer program per se, mere discovery of a new form cannot be patented. Mere admixture resulting in aggregation of properties cannot be patented. Presentation of the presentation of abstract ideas, inventions contrary to nature laws, mathematical or business methods of agriculture, inventions which all cover the atomic energy or related with the defense, which cannot be patented. So these are the areas which are being exempted for patenting in case of an Indian patent system. You just have 4 examples in front of you in a slide, that these are the patented products which have been there. The first one will be probably the one which you'll be using in this year. We have Lok Sabha elections approaching as well as Vidhan Sabha elections, which will be followed by that. So during an election, if you cast your vote, they'll put on a ink, indelible ink, which has been there. So this ink is a patented product. Mysore Ink is a factory who has got a patent for this. And initially it was basically invented by Physical Laboratory people from Delhi. And then it was been taken up by Mysore Ink. So this is a patented product. Even you have a harvester which works on, which can be remotely controlled, is a patented one. Even you have a idli maker, which is a patented one, and even simple product like a pin, which can be patented. So it's not that there has to be something big if you want to go for patenting. So these are the things which have been there with respect to patent. Now this particular slide which has been there is generally which I'll try to discuss because we all are from academics and we tend to publish the things. So if you think that while doing a research, anything which is significant which you could come across, either it is a product or it is a process, it advisable not to publish the data and get the patent first, and then you can go for publication. So if you want to get both the things, it's always advisable to patent first, followed by publication, because vice versa, it is not possible. You cannot go for publication first and then applying for a patent. So do not publish, present, or display your invention before filing a patent application. This is advisable. Always try to maintain a record of your invention. Conduct search before filing application that similar product or process is already been patented or not. If it is the one which is patented, how far your process or product is different from the one which is already been patented. Now, based upon these patents and other things or intellectual property rights which have been there, basically which are of different types, is going to be a trademark, copyright, design, geographical indicators, patent is one of them, and so on. Based upon all those IPR, there is going to be an index which has been calculated and where each country which has been ranked. So that index is called as Global Innovation Index, or we call it as GEII. So it's really a matter of proud to mention, but still a long way to go, that India has got a 40th position amongst 132 participants in 2023. The 40th position is better because in 2015, India was at 81st position. So by 2023, within 8 years, we have come to 40th position, and still a long way to go if you want to figure in top 5. So that has been possible from the help from all the academicians, all the researchers will file for more patents, more things which have been available. And with respect to this, they have made a better amendment in the Indian patent system as well. This amendment is that earlier, if you want to file a patent by the name of a college or university, the charges were almost thrice. Now you have to pay the same charges. You can file the patent. It can be one of a college or institute name can be included as inventor. So that can be done now, or there are two types. Basically, one is the name of an inventor, the name of an applicant. So in the name of an applicant, you can make use of a name of your institute as well, and without having much of an increase in the charges of a filing of a patent. You just required almost 8 to 9,000. That should be more than sufficient. But most of the chunk is been taken by the patent agent to prepare a proposal for filing a patent. So this is all which I had because the time which was given to me was 90 minutes and almost I have up to that particular one. So first of all, I would just like to acknowledge the organizers of this new education policy orientation and sensitization program, which has been conducted under Malviya Mission teacher training program, which is concerned with respect to a capacity building for faculties in all those 8 areas out of that, we just tried to focus on one of the area. It was a theme number 5 related with research and development. This program is conducted by the UGC Malviya Mission Teacher Training Commission, which has been there of Santa Gadge Baba Amravati University, Amravati. I would like to thank the director of this particular one, Professor Muhammad Atik sir, who gave me at least an opportunity to share my views. I don't know. I just feel that all those participants, which I think I could see the numbers of our participants is 90 online. Hopefully, all 96 were present and probably they might have gained something from this interaction. Now, I'll be happy to address any particular question. If you'll have, we can discuss. Yes, Ravi sir, Ravi Shekhar sir.
Sir, very good evening to you, sir. Sir, my question is that is it feasible and okay to go through the patent agents to get it patent, or directly we should first try it?
See, is generally, if you want to apply for the case, the judicial system make use of certain keywords, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what will be done by the patent agent. Patent agent just go for, but what I would advisable, if you are a part and doing a research, it is possible that you can prepare your own patent application.
Okay.
Only the thing is there are few legal terms which we are not exactly aware of, but patent system in India do help us to overcome those things. Because most of the cost or the junk of money has been taken by patent agent, and that's the issue which we have from where the fund will come if I'm going to approach a patent agent.
No, sir. Secondly, you are right, sir, 100% absolutely. But I came to know and heard that several patent agents are there whose internal settings might have been through other also. In that there are possibility of getting it patented easily. And if you go for the in the procedural manner, it takes time. It may get rejected like that. Some people say like that. So my question is that whether it is to go through these agents, or first of all we should try and see the obstacles and mistakes what we are committing and to correct it in the next stage like that. Is it the right way?
Exactly. I can understand. This is the same problem we'll have most of them. I just would like to give a simple analogy.
Yes, sir.
Being a researcher, can I publish a paper? Even there are persons available. You give them a data, they will formulate a publication for you, and there are very high chances of getting paper accepted. So the difference is like, if you have a money, I would say it's better. If you have a fund available, better approach a patent agent. There is more probability of getting a patent as compared to individually filing it. But it's not necessary or mandatory to have a patent agent.
Means the time taken and the things what is applied in that is mandatory to both the parties, either through go in the
that's the time scale system is followed for all, and I would be happy to tell you that now it has been speed up a lot. I still remember my first patent, which was filed in 2030. It was got awarded in 2020. It took almost 7 years. But if I could see the patents now, which have been awarded within 2 or 3 years. So because they didn't have the sufficient manpower for examination of a patent. That was the issue which was available with Indian patent system. But now they have sufficient manpower. So even the process which has been speed up, and there is a time frame which is given for each particular stage. That once you submit your patent application, within how many days it should be published. So that will be done. Within how many days you should go for examination. From then examination, in how many days you are supposed to receive the result or outcome. Then you can go for the compliance with the examination finding which was been there, the queries which are been raised. If they are not, still you can go for video conference. So there are stages. In fact, I would say the Indian patent system is not, they want to have more patents. So they are helpful, and they will help you to try to get your patent done rather than having a negative approach, how this application could be rejected.
Sir, one more thing, that abroad patents are more valuable, considered more valuable in India, or the Indian patents also carry the equal weightage, sir?
say, because I told you the patent is territorial right.
Okay.
So anything which is useful in a USA, if I'm going to patent in a India, I'm not going to get a company who will take my patent.
Okay.
If a thing which is useful in a India, if I'm going to patent in a USA, hardly will company will prefer to get. So you need to decide that your product is more suitable to which particular region. According to that, you can go for filing a patent for that, but get the rights for that particular region.
Because, sir, in cash-like thing, career advancement scheme, UK patents are given 10%, 10 marks, and Indian patents are given 5 to 7 marks. Like that, it is the right thing, sir, or it is just a rumor? We are hearing that.
Rather than that, just classify two types: Indian patents and international patents is the criteria which is being done in a giving a point scale system. And even you can get a cash without having a patent as well. It's not mandatory, but they have given a weightage because each system has got its own procedure for clearing and granting a patent. So I would say the procedure which is there in the foreign, they are much more stringent, and you have several documentation thing which needs to be done. So they have given higher weightage to those. It's similar like you have Indian publication and international publications. So Indian publications which have been there, they are given the less weightage as compared to international publications.
Yes, sir.
So I would say similar logic would have been applied for that.
Sir, my one more question, sir. Sir, most of the SCI journals are, when we used to publish it, some journals accepts it and some journals outrightly reject it. So is the brand name also carries, means the researcher's name also carries the weightage in publishing SCI journals? Because I see that most of the papers are having just useless information, and their papers gets published in SCI journals because due to the second author, third author, maybe the bigger brand or the whosoever it may be. I had seen most of the papers like that, sir, and the real researcher papers are outrightly being rejected. So is there any biasness, or is there any other factor also works out, sir?
See, you know the reviewing process which has been there basically. The reviewing process will be common whoever submits a publication.
Yes, sir.
Right? So who's going to be reviewer, even we won't know. But from the pool, sometimes it's possible. In fact, I don't want to compare with others. Even for my own publication, sometimes I get a feel that this publication has been made very carefully and should go to a better impact factor. It gets rejected from there. But there sometimes I know that in this publication, there is no significant finding. It gets accepted. So here I am the same person, same publications for a same person, but the things happens. So it might be because there are a few random issues which have been there, like reviewer system which has been implemented by each of the journal. So which we cannot compare. So that might be the factor of what I would say.
Okay, sir. Thanks, sir. Thank you very much for clearing my doubts and queries, sir. Very nice to interact with you.
If you have any other question, we'll be happy.
Yes, participants, if there are any questions, so we can directly ask to sir, or if there are any no question, then we will conclude this session.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Namaste, respected speaker, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Myself Vijay Chaudhary, Assistant Professor, Godavari College of Engineering, Jalgaon. Sir, I have registered on the Google Scholar, but there are three names which are Vijay Chaudhary. Three are from different. Myself is from Electronics Telecom. And other two are one is from, I think, Agri, and one is from some another field. So while showing the indexing data, there is a graph. I can see my paper also there and their paper also there. So actually, Miss, I want to know how should I get only my information?
Like there is a option available. If you could go to a profile, you can go for the edit option. You know which are your publications. The one which are your publication, you can keep it. The one which are publications are not there, you can select and you can delete it. So that can be removed from your publication. This is one. Second thing, if you think that some of your papers are not been taken into the consideration by the Google Scholar, which are already been published, even you can go for add publication manual system, which has been available, where you can enter the details of that publication and that publication could be added. So it is the individual
detail means
Google
I can
Scholar,
add
it's a kind
keywords.
of a program which works.
Sir, detailed information to add means I can add keywords related to my research, suppose.
Yeah, keyword is a much more broad. You just want to rectify that in your profile, only the publication of yours should be shown, right? So in that case, if you could log into a profile, there is option edit available. You can select which are not your publication, that you can delete or remove. And if you think that some of the publications are not added,
I can add it
by
manually.
addition option, you can go for adding those even. Sometimes they'll ask you title of a paper, its DOI number and other criteria they'll ask you. Based upon that, you can add those research papers to your profile as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Very deep, insightful, and knowledgeable session, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. And Gade sir, if you could permit, shall we conclude, sir? Because we have to go for another session.
Yeah, you have another because we have already taken 5 more minutes.
No,
That
sir.
will be
No,
great.
no.
Yes.
Sir, if there are any concluding remarks, sir, please.
So, would like to give a concluding remark for this?
Yes, sir. If you have any concluding remark, either I will conclude, sir.
Yeah, I just would like to go for bottom line that we, while living in day-to-day life, we keep on doing a research. So everybody does a research. The best way, keep on doing a research and go for the documentation of a kind of research which you do. The documentation will be either in the form of a publication or in the form of a patent. That will give you more satisfaction or for having or building your research profile as an academician. So all the best to all and keep doing research, good research. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. On behalf of UGC Malvi Mission Teacher Training Center, I here to extend my sincere gratitude to Professor Aniket Gade, sir, for being with us and enlighten us on such a very big and very crucial topic, that is research and development. Sir, you have clear our idea and give a road path to us to how to proceed with the research in future, and that research will be the society oriented research. So definitely we will implement and inculcate this your valuable inputs in our daily research, and definitely we will set down an example for the research that will be beneficial to the our nation development. Sir, I once again extend my heartfelt gratitude and sincere thanks to you for being with us and enlighten us on such a huge topic. And with the kind permission of Professor Gade, sir, I would like to declare that this lecture will be over here, and now we will continue for the next lecture.
Ankit, just a minute. I would
Yeah.
like to thank all the participants for being with me for all these 90 minutes. Hopefully, this session will be useful to all. Thank you for your presence.
Definitely, sir. This is one of the best session we have conducted earlier. And thank you so much, sir, for being with us and sparing your valuable time, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so participants, we will continue for next session. Hello, Professor
Yeah.
Patil, ma'am.
I'll log out. Fine.
Yeah, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Hello, Professor Patil, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
No, it's Professor Anita Patil, ma'am.
Okay, no. Thank you.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, ma'am. Good
Are you
afternoon,
able
ma'am.
to
Good
hear
afternoon.
me?
Yes, ma'am. You're clearly audible, ma'am. Clearly audible. Ma'am,
Sir, but what the problem is,
yeah, ma'am.
Gade sir was my colleague and he has given the lecture on the patent and the same topic I am discussing. Then,
Ma'am, just yes, ma'am. I knew it, but you can take in another way because you have the vast experience in that, ma'am. I knew it,
yeah,
ma'am.
I'll try to take some another way. Okay, fine.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah. So can we start, ma'am, if you could permit?
Yes, yeah. So can I
So
share the slide also?
yeah,
And
ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. Just 1 minute. I will introduce, ma'am.
Yeah.
So friends, in next session we have with us Professor Anita Patil, ma'am. Ma'am, warm welcome you on behalf of the UGC Malvi Mission Teacher Training Center, Sant Galge Baba, Amravati University, to this flagship program, that is NEP 2020 Orientation and Sensitization Program. Friends, Professor Patil, madam, has a big and more research more research profile. Ma'am is presently serving as a senior professor among the university. You have known that couple of the teachers are being the senior professor, and one of the senior professor for our university is a Professor Anita Patil, ma'am. Ma'am is presently serving as a senior professor Department of Biotechnology at Sant Galge Baba Amravati University. Ma'am has more than 28 years of teaching as well as the research experience, and that will be only PG level. Her area of specialization is plant seed metabology and microbial biochemistry, biodiversity. Under his able guidance, 10 research scholars has been awarded with the PhD degree, and 6 research scholars are registered under his able guidance. She has written 3 books and publishes n number of papers in the reputed international and national journals. She has completed 3 major research projects as well as 6 minor research projects. She has received many more awards, but out of from that, there are couple of awards that will be very crucial awards. That is, one is from the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam award that will be awarded to the madam in 2018. Another award is Women Scientist Award that will also awarded in the 2018. Best Teacher Award from the Sant Galge Baba Amravati University, that is in 2021. Fellow of PGPR, Asian PGPR Society, that in 2022. And recently, ma'am has received a Lifetime Development Award from Dr. V. Shivaram Research Foundation, Bangalore in 2023. So we are really luckily fortunate. So we have today with us a very great and senior personality who will deliver or not delivered conduct a session on research and development with respect to the patent filing. Although we have covered most of the topic, but ma'am will definitely take in another dimension that will be enhance our knowledge towards the research and development. Ma'am, I again warm welcome you and request you to start with your session. Ma'am, please.
Yeah, Ankit, can you allow me to share the screen?
Yes, ma'am. I have make you the co-host, ma'am. You can directly share, ma'am.
But it is not. I'm not able to share the screen.
Ma'am, now
I-
please check, ma'am.
No, it
Yes,
doesn't.
ma'am. Your screen is visible, ma'am. Here, your screen is visible, ma'am.
My screen is visible,
Yes,
but
yes.
not. I'm not able to see my screen.
No, ma'am. Your screen is visible here. Your Zoom window is. We are seeing your Zoom window, ma'am.
No, what happened to?
Yes. Now your desktop is. We are seeing your desktop.
Okay, you are able to see my desktop.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
just wait, just wait. Are you able to see the slides?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. So we'll start with some intellectual property right in some different manner as compared to Gadesar. Gadesar was my colleague and he was a good researcher, but still I'll try to justify myself also in this particular session. So intellectual property right, we'll see all of the types, no copyright and everything. So in introduction, I'll see there are the different kinds of property, and this type of property may be a movable type of property. Some are immovable type of properties, and some are intellectual type of property. If you see the movable property, other things, general things are there: car, pen, furnitures, etc. Immovable property is your land, building, and your other things. But most important thing for literate people are the intellectual property, and this intellectual property means literary works or type of inventions also. What is the nature of intellectual property? It is very much important to see. It is a creation of human mind. Okay. that is an intellect. It is not a more like a pen, pencil, car, or like that. It's a creation of the human mind. It is intangible property. You cannot measure it. It is an intangible type of property. Some exclusive rights given by the statutes for this intellectual property. Also, this property do have some limitations and exceptions also. Everything cannot be which just comes in your mind is not an intellectual one, because it has some exceptions also. It is very time bound. For example, the patents are granted for 20 years, copyrights for 60 years, and moral rights, etc., is having some time bound properties. And it is also territorial, means Indian patents, foreign patents, like that of. So, what is a definition of intellectual property? Intellectual property shall include the rights which is related to literary, artistic, and scientific works. Number two, the type of performance of performing artist, phonograms, and broadcast. Number three, inventions in all fields of human endeavor, scientific discoveries, industrial design, trademarks, service marks, and commercial names and designations, protections under unfair competition, and all other rights resulting from intellectual activity in the industrial, scientific, literary, or artistic fields. So it is given in a WIPO convention. Actually, there are some rules and regulations that has been devised or that has been created to prevent the intellectual rights. And for this, the international treaties has been set up, which has formulated the rules and sections for intellectual right. So, a lot of treaties like Paris Convention in 1883, Berne Convention in 1886, International Union for new varieties of plant, that is 61, 72, 78, and 91. Convention of Biodiversity in 1992. It is very much important for those who are working on a plant or they are patenting some plant products and processes. For that, you have to take permission of NBA. Agreement on trade-related aspects of intellectual property right 1994, and some internet treaties, which is a very recent one, that has been 1996. So what is the basic principle of this intellectual property right is nothing, but it is a protection for revelation. It is a contract between creator and sovereign state. It's a balance between rights of creator and the public interest, because whatever you are going to patent or whatever you are going to create, that should come to the public, and in public also your rights has to be protected. But it do have some limitations and exception. Everything cannot be patented, some with limitations. So what are the different types of intellectual properties are? Number one is copyright and related rights. Some industrial properties like patents, industrial designs, trademarks, geographical indications, layout designs, topographic integrated circuits, some trade secrets, some protection of new plant varieties. So these are the different small subheads which comes under the major intellectual properties. So there are some IP law, that is intellectual property laws in India, which is being registered under Ministry or the Department of Information and Technology, Industrial Policy and Promotions, and also the Agriculture and Cooperation in case of various plant varieties and some farmer acts, because there is some interest even to protect the varieties and those who are the inventors of these varieties also. So first of all, so we see in a very short what's a copyright and related rights, because intellectual property, the patent and copyright are the different thing. People are always making some resemblance between these, but copyright and patents are different. So this copyright is nothing but it is a law. Copyright law grants authors, composers, softwares, writers, website designers, and other creative creators a legal protection for their literary and artistic creation referred to as their work. Somebody which has been created some new things that has been protected under the copyright. Here, whatever your creative expression is there, so which is very novel, or like paintings, musics, games, some databases, everything can be protected. What is the main intention is to control the use of the work in number of ways, and also main important intention the people used to go for copyright is to receive the remuneration from that. So what is the requirement for this copyright protection is that it is not a underlying idea or thought. बस जैसे मन में आया हमने सोचा कि हम ऐसा कर सकते हैं, तो ये that is not being copyright protected. Here you need some original output. Only that thing can be copyright protections. Essentially, it is independent work and it should not be copied from somewhere else. For example, if I copied somebody's work and somebody's marks, some designs, and that cannot be protected. So here the work will enjoy copyright protection irrespective of their creative elements, quality, value, and do not need to have any literary or artistic merit. Anything which is something very new, innovative, and irrespective of anything can be protected in a copyright. For example, if we have the books, some diagrams, some papers, some figures, some movies, some databases, etc., some music, some CDs, and then that all is being televisions having some musics, movies, and games. That, like, for example, most renowned one is Avatar movie. They have copyright that movie also. So there are the two types of rights. The moral rights here to protect the personality of the author, and economic right is to bring economic benefits. So moral right is nothing but it is initially it is different from type of country to country, and it is a right to be named as an author of work. For example, it's also called as authorship right, or it's also called as paternity right. Means those who has innovatively devised the things, and that is being for a long time to in the name of that, and so the right is being given to their ancestrals also. So it cannot be transferred to somewhere else. So ancestral things are there, or the paternity rights are there. So these moral rights may be waived by the author in some countries by the way of written agreement for a specific period of time. If the author if the author wanted that I should sell some things, give the rights to the person, he can give in form of writing some agreements also for a specific period of time. This is a moral rights. Depends upon the person. Another is economic rights, in which protects the author's economic interest and also allow the author to earn a profit by direct or indirect exploration of the work. And here, how this economic right has been given by making the reproduction of the copies, in the various form. It can be the work which can be distributed in the public also. Some rent or land or copies of the work, some translation or adoption of the work, some communicate the work to the public. Some shows have been performed and some work has been sent in the public. So here, by which you can earn some money. And for example, some novel has been, for example, an old novel is there, and you can make reproduction in a new time, or storage in the computer memory. Some right of distribution also given, digital distributions can be given. Some right which is given to the communication to the public is also there for public performance. Some communication is there about that rights can be given. So this is economic rights number 2. Some are adaptive rights, for example, comic formats, then literary or drama, literary to the drama, some picturizations of the old one to the new one, some cinematographic film or sound recording from old to the new, so that they can earn some good money. And translation rights, some rental rights are there, which is given for some particular time. Resale rights are there for original artistic work, but they are some time bound. You can, that is totally depend upon the inventor or the author. So who will get the ownership of the right is, for example, if the literary work is there, the author will get. Some drama things is there, some dramatist will get. Like that, the one who has author of this or the inventor can get the right. For example, if the sound recording is there, then producer will get it, okay? But this copyright or the rights do have some exceptions. For example, if somebody employer is there in the company, he cannot claim that he is a owner of the particular copyright. Or any newspaper employment by newspaper or which is being given, the employee cannot have the right. Even the photograph, the painting, cinema of the valuable consideration, who plays money will not get. For example, if anybody will purchase photograph of Shivaji Maharaj that Rajabhishek, which is commonly available, but he cannot claim because he is not owner of that. So a particular company who has designed that particular photograph can only be the author. So here the persons who are employee, who carries it cannot be the author. So even if you deliver any lecture in a public, that cannot be right. Government work, for example, any government has done the work, they cannot patent because it is a public property. The public undertaking work, public undertaking cannot be even patented or copyright. For example, roads, canals, etc., etc. Also, the work of international organization cannot be taken a right. Also, work of apprentice, like a teacher who is to teach it, who has to write the books. All the books can be taken, but what he sets, the paper setters, encyclopedia, dictionary, music of any film producer cannot be owner of the right. So, how to get a security for the copyright? Formerly, there is a free protection, or there is a voluntary registration for that, and that registration can be done to secure the copyright. What is the duration of this copyright? It's from the time where he has placed or asked for the copyright plus published during lifetime of author. It's life plus 60 years. So all other works is equal to 60 years from the date of publication, like cinema, some sound recordings, some photographs, a work of governments, anything. No, you might have heard about the things that अगर कोई पुराना पिक्चर कॉपी कर लेता है तो somebody can challenge it that the copyrights rights are with them, so you cannot have the remake of the picture. So some other rights are also there, like verses related. Some rights are given. Singers and musicians who perform the songs, the producers who make the sound recording of the song, and broadcasters also given some related rights, not a copyrights. Okay. Some related rights, like there are three kinds of related rights, or neighboring rights are also there. For example, neighboring rights, it means that the rights have been given to the performers. For example, although the inventor and author is different, but a right to perform is also given to the actors, to the musicians, to singers or dancers. Right of producers right of producers. He can give some permission to the sound recording, like a cassettes, compact discs, etc. Some broadcasting rights also given to the organizations which can broadcast into the radio, TV, or internet, and this is called as podcast. So the related rights of this copyright can be given as a neighboring rights. We have already seen this slide. Performer rights, which that is being given for 50 years. You can perform on this. So this can be a multi tasking also. Same rights can be given to the another people also. So broadcasting is given for 25 years, while the performing can be given for 50 years. So this is a copyright translations flow work. Okay. Here, how to go for from the filing of application along with the fee with some later on you will get an issue of diary number, and from there 30 days are mandatory waiting for objections. People who are having some objections on your copyright or other things, they can take objection within 30 days. If the objections are filed, then if the objections, some people raised objection against your copyright, then you have to um, that law send letter to both of the parties, and they can ask reply from both of the parties, and then the hearing by the registrar is being given, and if the objections are overruled, then application is accepted, and then these applications, whatever the objections are there, they are rejected. If there is no any objection, then the accepted application should go for scrutinization by the examiner, and if there is no any discrepancy, or if there is a discrepancy found, then both the discrepancy letter is being issued to the applicant, and from there the reply can be asked from the applicant, and then hearing in presence of registrar can be taken out, and if it is being approved, then registration is approved, then it is being extracted from registrar to the applicant. So the flow chart from there, from objections to the sanctions and granting of copyright has been given. So this is that is very short thing about copyrights and personal rights. The main intention is to have much focus on the patents. So what is exactly is a patent is exclusive right granted for invention, which is a product of or a process that provides a new way of doing something else or offers a new technical solution to the problem. Here, a limited monopoly right is being granted by the state, enables an inventor to prohibit another person from manufacturing, using, or selling the patented product, or from using the patented process without the permission. If anybody has discovered some new thing, the product or the product cannot be patented, but in case of the industry, but the patented, the process, it is granted for 20 years. So what can be patented now? It is whether inventions which is being going on in all fields of technology, whether the products in case of some engineering or the process in case of industrial biological work, they should meet a criteria of novelty. Means they should be very new. They should be a new entities addition. It is non-obviousness. It is an inventive step. Means the same product, you cannot add something else and you can output it, is not invented, and it should have some industrial application. Suppose if the product is there which is of no use to humanity or the societal, it's of no use. It must have some industrial application or the utility. Such things can be patented. So what are the different conditions of patentability? For example, the patent should be novel. The invention is not known to the public prior to claim by the inventor. Because if anybody has developed some product by the research from the research project or some process, that invention should not be already in a public domain. Already the people should not know that this is the product. But after the novelty, after the application of the inventor, that data search, it should be have data search, and it should be the novel one. You must not have some prior references about the same compound or same process. So a novel thing can be patented. Yeah, inventive step. So invention would not be obvious to the persons with ordinary skill in the art. It is not a no, it is not ordinary things. No, for example, if I mix two some, I mix a red color and blue color, and I'll get some green color. It's already known fact to the people or a community or the in a public domain. So such type of invention should ordinary skill should not be there, and invention can be made or useful in any way, like a which is in a practical activity as distinct from purely intellectual or aesthetic one. It is having characteristics to get to be patented. Uh, the grant of patent, they are the Patent Office, Government Office of India. The patents are granted by National Patent Office after the publication and substantial examination of the applications. In India, generally, the provisions exist for pre-grant and post-grant oppositions by others. In India, if after the publication, the patent comes in the public domain, if anybody sees that my patent or my own procedure somebody has claimed, he can take an opposition, or even after the post grant also, although the patent has been granted, somebody can take objections, and also that can be comes to the hearing also. So they are valid within the territorial limit of country. It is very important. Territorial limits are there, and here in India, even the foreign people can also apply for the patent. Like Indians, we can apply for patent in the foreign countries also. So like that, the foreigners can also apply for Indian patents. It is very important that common people should know that what type of inventions which is not patentable. An invention which is frivolous or which is claims anything obviously contrary to the well-established natural law cannot be patented. For example, if machine is there, we know that any machine can give performance 90%, 50% like that. But if somebody is claiming that I have designed a patent machine and that gives 100 more than 100% performance, I think it is not possible. If anybody challenges the Newton's law of gravitation, I think that is not claimable. And if somebody claims that we have prepared a machine which is working without some external source of energy, that cannot be, because it is a law. Already we know that for running machine we need a force or energy. So such type of things cannot be patented. Any machine whose primary or intended use or commercial exploitation of which could be contrary to the public order or morality or cause some serious prejudice to human, animal, or plant life or health or to the environment cannot be patented. For example, gambling machine, although there are some people who used to have advertise for gambling machine, but we public do have opposition against for that. For example, device for housebreaking. Somebody will devise a small device, will invent a device, and like a small bomb, and they will use it for housebreaking. How it can be acceptable, no? For example, if biological warfare material he can devise. So if he devise some viruses like no corona, everybody used to say that coronavirus is genetically engineered virus, and like that. And some no in before some years there was disease like Yersinia pestis, like that is called as which disease? Yersinia pestis. Which disease? How I can forget the name? Um, it was a disease
Plague.
where people.
Plague.
Yersinia pestis. So I think that time, no, some Pakistani, from there the biological warfare has been sent, and some people do have plague-like diseases. I think last 5-7 years ago. So such type of materials cannot be patentable. Another important thing is a terminator gene technology. In India, you already know that we have a practice of sowing the seeds from the last year to the next year, from next year to the next year. And farmers of India are not so rich like foreign countries, or they don't get seeds from the government. And what happened, like Monsanto or like that, they have introduced a gene, terminator gene into the seeds. So if you wanted to sow the seeds from the last year, the seeds cannot germinate, because they do have a terminator gene. Means the genes will not, if you sow the seeds, that it will imbibe the water, and the proteins, the genes will release a protein which will inhibit the germination of the seed. So such type of technology which is there in India is not applicable. So all of the farmers, they oppose these things, and later on the Monsanto has to delete that things. Some embryonic stem cells, which is being stored and being used, cannot be patentable. Here, which is not being patentable, is a discovery. Like human knowledge by disclosing something which is not seen before, that how the life has been evolved, how the life has been, which is not being seen, which is not having any proof, cannot be patentable. Invention which leads to the human knowledge by suggesting an action resulting in new product or process also cannot be patentable, such as different phenomena, no, new laws without any scientific things. Just only a mere mind game cannot be uh, patented, but the method or the technology can be patented. Also, it is very important to say that only the mere discovery of a new form or a knowledge or known substances which does not result in enhancement of the known efficiency of the substance cannot be. Or the mere discovery of a new property or new use for known substance cannot be patented. Or mere use of known processes or machine or apparatus, unless such known process result in a new product or employs at least one new reactant, cannot be patented. It means that the known things cannot be patented up till and until the same machine will give a new product can be patented. So the already known fact cannot be patented. Or for example, as substances obtained by mere admixture, resulting only in aggregation of the properties of the compound or the process which is producing such substances, cannot be protected. For example, everybody knows paracetamol is used as an antipyretic, which is for infections and everything. Plus, if you mix with paracetamol and brufen, is used for analgesic. So, if you mix these two drugs, a drug will be there, which is an antipyretic and analgesic. But this cannot be patented because already the paracetamol function and brufen function is known. It means for example, a soft drink is only a mixture of sugar and some colorant in a water, cannot be patented, but a mixture resulting in a synergistic property of mixtures of ingredients can be patentable. For example, if somebody is making by using these all compounds by A, B, C, D, if it is producing some compound like a soap, like a detergents or lubricants or any of the things of the human use, such things can be patentable. Some people always used to say that जावरे मॅडम तुमचा माईक बंद करता का? For example, the which type of because sometimes before I have done some patent workshops, and that a layman who is not very studied one came to attend the workshop, and he has devised some design of some metal things, and he wanted to integrate into the engine of this motorcycle, and because of that he has tested that his efficiency is increasing, and which gives more enhancement to the some bike engines, and his design was very different, and his efficiency is being increasing. So that type of things can be patented, but already a bucket fitted with a torch while going in a night cannot be patented. For example, an umbrella, if you're using umbrella in a rain, or if you're using umbrella in a sun, along with fan, cannot be patented. Okay, a clock with a radio. Already these two are the different discoveries. If you mix it only in a single cabinet, is also not patented. A floor mill, which is provided with some sieving type of things, cannot be patented. So such things you should be remember that the common things which are there already in public domain, and they don't have any new things to show to the people, cannot be patented. Method of agriculture or is horticulture. For example, India is an agriculture country, no? And in last many years, we are focusing on culture of bio pesticides and some algae for protein purposes and all that. So if you are going to culture the algae like spirulina and all that in a mm, in a different type of instrumentation, algae you cannot patent it. Cultivation of algae you cannot patent, but the type of different agriculture equipments you are using for the cultivation of the algae, it can be patented. So always think of before patenting the things, whatever you are discovering, whatever you are giving the statements, that thing should come into this criteria that cultivation of algae you cannot do it. Okay, but cultivation of algae with different type of plants, different type of equipments can be patented. Plants and animals, which are common creators in this world, you cannot patent in a whole. Like you cannot patent the dog with 4 eyes. You cannot patent the plant with potato and tomato. Like tomatoes are upside and potato in the soil. You cannot patent microorganisms also. But you can you can patent a biological process for the propagation of plants and animals. Also, type of compounds you are getting from animals and plant also that can be patented. Some clones, some new varieties of plants cannot be patented, but the process for production of the plant, uh, uh, natural phenomena, crossing or the selection type of things, you can patent. Okay, because plants and animals are useful in a human for human beings, and such type of things cannot be patented, because if somebody patent E. coli, what will happen? E. coli is a normal flora of intestine. It is present in everybody's stomach. So if somebody protect the E. coli, then it's very difficult for everybody, like some the plant also. Some mathematical methods or some business methods or allograms or some computer program which are only the outcome of the mental processes, which do not involve any industrial process or a product, cannot be patented. For example, some algorithms, some methods, yes, you cannot be go for patent. computer programs can be get copyrights, but not a patent. So, literary, dramatic, musical, or artistic work, or any other aesthetic creations, which includes cinematographic work or television productions, cannot be patented. These subject matter fall under the copyright. Of course, you can take a copyright of that and then you can use it, or you can sell your rights. A mere scheme, or a rule, or a method of performing the mental act, or a method of playing the game, even you cannot patent. For example, if Virat Kohli say that this is my way of playing the cricket, I will patent it. Another will not. Another human cannot follow me. This cannot be patented. For example, if you see the another example, like learning a language, scheme for learning the language. For example, we have the 26 letters. The Japanese language do have 10 letters only, and they do have a typical scheme of learning the Japanese or like Indian language or English language. Such cannot be patented. Method for solving the crossword puzzle cannot be patented. Method of learning a language, method of teaching, learning any lecture cannot be patented. Paper sets cannot be patented. Novel apparatus for playing the game or carrying out a scheme can be patented. A novel thing or apparatus we are using for doing all of these above schemes can be patented. So presentation of information, for example, I'm presenting you these things, I cannot patent because it's a knowledge which is there in the public. For example, any manner of method of expression, you cannot patent it. Whether the spoken words, if I spell like my name in a different way, so that cannot be patentable things. Some visual display cannot, symbols, like no gamma, theta, it's well known. Diagrams, for example, human excretory system, human lymphatic system, or diagram of prokaryotes and eukaryotes, you cannot patent it. Okay, so another most important thing is topography of integrated circuits cannot be done. For example, the traditional knowledge or a duplication of known property of traditional known compound or component cannot be patented. But by using the traditional knowledge, by using some Ayurvedic knowledge, if you are producing some novel compound which is not being known or which the activities has not been reported early, and the compound cannot be patented, but the process you differently go or can go for publication, patentation. For example, traditional knowledge, Ayurveda, you cannot patent. You cannot patent haldi because if you know the struggle of um, Raghunath Mashelkar, Professor Raghunath Mashelkar, who has fought with the US with for the haldi things. No, हल्दी तो हमारे यहाँ काफी पुराने जमानों से हम लोग यूज करते हैं, या तो फिर तुलसी के पत्ते भी, कड़ी पत्ता, that is already knowledge in the public domain. You cannot patent um, tulsi, but you can patent the extraction method of Ocimum sanctum into a liquefiable manner, or that tulsi extract with particular smell in a particular different method, which is being known. तो अब अगर तुलसी अगर एक्सट्रैक्ट करना है तो हमारी माँ तो उसको हाथ से मसल कर शी यूज टू डू इट, एंड अभी भी हमें तुलसी खानी है तो हम लोग पत्ते तोड़ के चाय में डाल देते हैं. सो such type of things which is already in a public domain cannot be patentable. However, value addition, हम वैल्यू एडिशन कर सकते हैं कि तुलसी के साथ हम किसी और प्रोसेस को जोड़ सकते हैं, और दो तुलसी हल्दी, जैसे अभी चाय में देखा होगा आपने, एडवर्टाइज देखा होगा चाय का, नीम तुलसी हल्दी ये सब डाल के ब्रुक बॉन्ड बनाया है, कुछ चाय बनाया है. तो इसको हम लोग उस चाय को, उस प्रोसेस को हम लोग नॉवेल्टी करके पेटेंटेबल कर सकते हैं. Very important thing is atomic energy cannot be patentable because it's very risky and you cannot go for anyhow into that. Very important that how to file a patent application. We have already, Aniket sir has been informed you that this is a website of that, and through online you can go e-filing through the post, or can be submitted by hand, or you can have some patent agent with you and you can file application for that. Filing of the patent application by a common method, you can have a publication after 18 months. There is a pre-grant opposition by representation, can be done by any person. Request for examination, grant or refusal, publication of the grant of patent, post-grant opposition if there is anything, and then the decision has been given by the controller. So I think Gade sir has been detailed, but I'll take very short and very fast view of that. So part of patent technological legal document should be form number 1 is there, in which you have a legal information about name, address, contact details, inventor, and assignee. And in form number 2, you may have the background of the invention, how it describes the need of invention, the summary of inventions, how you have done the work, what is the preferred embodiment, examples and claims, and what is the most important plant, what the claim you want to protect, what are the independent claim and what are the dependent claim. And then you have to give the small extract, how this is very useful, how you have done and it is useful. In the form number 3, then you have details of foreign filing and all other things. Then you can go for request of examination by form number 18, request for early publications, some fee has to be needed, and you will get an early publications for that. And then power of authority, if you are having patent, if you are doing by yourself, then it's no need to have a form number 26. But if you have an agent, then you can assign the things to your agent and he can go and uploading the things which is essential for patent filing. So patent granting in India, if you see, it's conceptualization of the invention. It must have some mindset that has been required for patent, and then filing of application will be the with some you can file with complete specification with, or you can file with provisional specification. And then if you have filed the provisional specification, then you will get a time of 12 months after the after the provisional specification. In 12 months, you have to gather all information and then you have to submit. If you fail to gather the information and submit to the patent office, if you are not able to do that, the publications or application of your patent will be addominant. But if you are able to find out the things within 12 months, then your publications will go under section 11A, and it may be early if we give the extra fee or the post for 18 months. Then you must have some pre-grant opposition, some can challenge your things, and then after that, if there you have to give the answers. If not there, then it's okay. And then there is a request for examination can be done on form number 18 within 48 months with from the date of priority. And then examination has been there. Some patent officers, examiners are being appointed on your, and then if they feel that they want to ask you online, then they can meet you online on a due date and everything, and they can ask for other requirements, they can ask some questions if they find there some novelties there, and they can cross correct you, and then FER is issued. If the FER is issued, then re-examination of amended documents. Controller will offer a hearing to the applicant, and application is to be put in order within 12 months from the issue of the FER. If objections not meet within 12 months, it is again get doubled. And if you are able to meet the objections within the 12 months, then then it's okay, and then it goes for grant of patent under section 523, and you are getting the publication of the grant. And then if you have, even then not also, if somebody has objected, you can have the post grant positions also under section 25(2). So this is with the common patents. If you see industrial designs, no, it is somewhat different as compared to the normal patents. And here designs means only the picture of the shape, configuration, pattern, ornament, composition of lines or colors applied to any article. whether in two-dimensional or a three-dimensional or in both form, by any industrial process or means, where like manual, mechanical, chemical, separate or combined, which finish the article appear to or just solely by the eye. Here, the shape and configurations you can patent. For example, in type of ornaments, no, all of the jewelry companies, they make the ornaments and they take a they take a industrial design, like all of these pen, no, some that dress with some other designs with auto water putting type of styles, no, like Kolhapuri chappals. Okay, so they do have their designs and they can be patent. For example, the pharmaceutical products can also be when industrially consumer products can be done. Some type, no, you see the type of having capsules, hand wash, no, dispensers, and some uh, syringes, ampoules. If you're using for drug storage, no, industry, jewelries, no, you can patent. If you have a right for registered proprietor, can also be given. For example, proprietor of the registered design has exclusive right to apply the design to any article in the class which design has been registered. For example, if you register the design for like a jewelry, then you can replicate it. So the period of protection is 10 years, and which can be extendable 5 years. So after 15 years, that can come into the public domain. Okay. So if then what the author has to do or the proprietor has to do, he can make some another innovations or additions into this design and can take into the market again. So what is being excluded is what is excluded is any mode or principle of construction which is substance or mere a mechanical device is excluded from proprietary right. So trademark property, there is a trademark, there is a property mark, there artistic work can be registered. But what is not registrable? A design which is not new, okay, or original cannot be, or original one which is already there in public cannot be registered. A design which has been disclosed to the public anywhere in the world prior to the filing cannot be registered. आपका एकदम इनोवेटिव होना चाहिए, जो किसी ने वो डिजाइन यूज नहीं किया होगा, वो रजिस्टर्ड नहीं हो सकता है. अ डिजाइन विच इज नॉट सिग्निफिकेंटली डिस्टिंग्विशेबल फ्रॉम नॉन डिजाइन, जैसे टाटा वाला जो शब्द है या तो एप्पल वाला जो शब्द है, अगर वो किसी से रिसेंबल होता होगा तो एप्पल भी उसको रजिस्टर्ड नहीं कर पाएगा. ठीक है. सो रिसेंबलेंस नहीं होना चाहिए. अ डिजाइन विच इज ऑब्सेंस मैटर अगर है वो भी नहीं हो सकता है. अ डिजाइन विच इज कॉन्ट्ररी टू द पब्लिक ऑर्डर और मोरालिटी, दैट कैन ऑल्सो नॉट बी रजिस्टर्ड. फॉर एग्जाम्पल क्या क्या नहीं हो सकता है विच इज नॉट बीइंग रजिस्ट्रेबल? कैलेंडर्स, बिकॉज डेट तो पूरे दुनिया में एक ही है. हाँ, डिजाइन उसका अलग अलग हो सकता है बट डेट्स नहीं हो सकती है, कैलेंडर नहीं हो सकता है. ग्रीटिंग कार्ड, लीफलेट, मैप्स नहीं हो सकता है, लेबल्स नहीं हो सकता है, रिलीजियस सिंबल नहीं हो सकता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल हर लोगों के झंडे अलग है, सबका अलग है, वो भी नहीं हो सकता है. मैकेनिकल कंट्रीवेंस नहीं हो सकता है. बिल्डिंग एंड कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ रियल एस्टेट कैनॉट बी पेटेंटेड. फ्लैग्स कैनॉट बी पेटेंटेड. चेंज इन द साइज, छोटा बड़ा कर दिया, नहीं हो सकता है. सो मोड ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ आर्टिकल कैनॉट बी. So there is registrations, and here another thing is the trademarks. So trademark is very important in case of industry. Like if a name of enterprise or a mark is capable of being represented graphically. So for example, those people who are illiterate cannot read or write. By just by seeing the things, they can come to know Lux. For example, Telco, Apple. फॉर एग्जाम्पल लक्स अगर पुराने जमाने से भी है तो उसका जो डायग्राम है उसको देख के सारे लोगों को पता होता है कि ये लक्स का साबुन है. ठीक है. तो इट वॉज वेरी फेमस बिकॉज ऑफ ओनली द मार्क, ट्रेडमार्क. सो द ट्रेडमार्क कैन बी लाइक साइन, वर्ड्स, लेटर्स, नंबर्स, ड्राइंग होगा, पिक्चर होगा, एम्बलेम होगा, कलर होगा, कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ कलर होगा, स्कोप शेप ऑफ गुड होगा, ग्राफिक रिप्रेजेंटेशन होगा, पैकेजिंग होगा. या तो फिर इन सब का कॉम्बिनेशन भी हो सकता है, एंड ऑल ऑफ दिस कॉम्बिनेशन इज बीइंग अप्लाइड टू द आर्टिकल और द प्रोडक्ट कैन बी योर trademark. For example, if I wanted to have my own design, my do that I have to design my own different things, and then I can apply for the trademark. For example, now the college people, their logos, and they are going for a trademark. Trademarks are registered by national trademark registers and they are valid in a country. Okay. So if you are registering in India, then it is valid only in that country. That trademark cannot be there. The same thing cannot be used in USA. Okay. That time you have to go for there for registration. Registration is made after examination and publication. The same thing will be there like that of the patent for the trademark also. And that is being only for 10 years and it can be renewed indefinitely. Okay. So what are the different kinds of trademark is marks on goods, service marks, certification trademarks, collection marks, well-known marks, trade names, etc. Some trade names are also there. It is very, very important. Like for example, egg mark, no, wool mark, and Solapuri chappals, entertain, you know, like that. It certified that goods on which it is applied are made 100% of wool. So same thing can you go for registered in 140 countries, and the license to companies which is assured will come for comply with the strict standards set out by wool mark company. So the same thing you can apply in the same different countries. So what are the collective marks is very important, no? Collective mark is a mark that distinguishes the good or services of members of association from marks of the other undertaking. Who owns the collective mark? The association of the person. For example, it could be manufacturers, okay? It could be producers, it could be suppliers, it could be traders or other profession bodies like Institute of Chartered Accountants. वकील के लिए अलग ट्रेड मार्क है, डॉक्टर्स के लिए अलग है, cricketers association जो है. So well-known marks are Coca-Cola, for example, soft drink. You know, although the Coca-Cola has different type of mark, and some triangular shape chocolates are Toblerone, it's in all over world. Some Godrej, no, some G bulbs. All of these are the trademarks. So form of these are different types of trademarks. For example, visual हमें देखने से ही पता लग जाएगा. तो शब्द भी हो सकते हैं, letters भी हो सकते हैं, design भी हो सकती है, drawings भी हो सकती है, symbol भी हो सकता है, and there are different type of color combinations भी हो सकता है. Some audio type of things, sounds भी हो सकता है, some music हो सकता है, music की note हो सकती है, वो trademark होगा, ना कि patent. Some olfactory जो smells होते हैं जैसे अत्तर इत्र जो होते हैं, that can be also having a trademark. उसको एक नाम होगा, उसी नाम से उसी क्वालिटी से उसको बेचा जाएगा. ठीक है. So what is protected and what is not? So right to use trademark in relation to goods or services as registers are protected, and so the trademark is consist of several parts, protection of trademark as a whole. ठीक है. तो आप उसको यूज कर सकते हो. और स्टेट एम्बलेम्स, महाराष्ट्र सरकार, उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार, ऑफिशियल हॉलमार्क्स, you cannot trademark. Emblems of intergovernmental organizations cannot be used as a trademark because they are already in a public domain. So geographical indications of good, it is very important that geographical indications. For example, geographical indication is an indication which identifies goods as agriculture goods, natural goods, or manufactured goods as originating or manufactured in the territory of the country or a region or a locality of the territory, where given a quality, reputation, or other characteristics of such goods is essentially attributed to its geographical origin. For example, the apples from Kashmir, then Santra, Nagpuri Santra. So they are with the geographical indications. For example, Alfonso mango is from Kokal, basmati is from. So goods includes goods of handicraft or industry are all, and some foodstuffs also comes under the geographical indications. How to go for this registration is also very important. A Kolhapuri chappals or basmati or fanzo in India, geographical indications have to be registered always. And registry examines and publish the application before the registration. Um, Registration is valid for 10 years, but you can renew it indefinitely. So नागपुरी संतरा नाम चला गया है तो नागपुरी संतरा ही पूरे वर्ल्ड में फेमस रहेगा. So rights is also been given exclusive right to use a geographical indication on the good. संतरा हमारे यहाँ भी हो सकता है, ब्राजील में भी हो सकता है, तो ब्राजील वाला संतरा अलग, नागपुरी संतरा अलग. Okay, so right to obtain the relief for infringement of the geographical indications भी मिल सकता है. Some circuits, semiconductor circuits are allowed as a design, layout design. This is a circuit, for example, you can some layout or protectable layout designs can be patented. Some novel layout designs of semiconductors, some circuits can be done, but registration is done after the examination and the publication of application, and it is also for 10 years only. If it is very novel design, then for 10 years. Which is not being registered is, which is not being original, which is not being commercially exploited in India, not inherently distinctive, and not inherently capable of being distinguishable from any other registered layout. It is very, very important that nothing, the another things cannot be. Some trade secrets is very, very important. I have to go very fast to complete the things. Some inventors' data information cannot be protected by any of the available means of IPR, like trade, oral rights, any rights, trade secrets is somewhat different than all of these things. It can be any invention, any idea, survey method, manufacturing process, experimental results, chemical formula, recipe, or financial strategy, or some client database is there, which is being come under the trade secret. For example, everybody knows that Coca-Cola. Only few of people of Coca-Cola company, they know the secret of the Coca-Cola combination, and they have kept as a trade secrets. Okay. So when the invention is not patentable, you can go, you can keep it as a trade secret. So that take care, if you know that patent is for only 20 years, but if you keep a secret, they can go for any different, for more amount of time as compared to the patent. How to guard a trade secret? It is very important. Restricting the number of people having access to the secret information. We know that only 5 people know of the Coca-Cola. लोग कभी वो लोग कभी साथ में एक साथ फ्लाइट में नहीं जाते हैं, क्योंकि अगर कुछ हो गया तो सारा गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. तो 5 people out of 5 people, only 1 or 2 will go out because it is a trade secret. So using protected techniques like digital data security tools and restricted entry into the area where the trade secret is work or held has been done. So most important in case of agriculture are the trade secret or farmer's right. Okay, it's plant varieties and about farmer rights. It's a very different thing that you must have registered the varieties. Now these varieties, people used to have varieties by hybridization, cross pollinations, and etc. But new varieties can be patented, which is being very novel, distinctiveness, and uniformity and stability. That only after the successive trials, like no agriculture university, they do develop a variety. They used to carry out their field trials and all other trials, and then only they can claim for variety name. And like that, they have variety. They used to have varieties in a in a public domain. Some distinctiveness, uniformity, varieties can only go for such type of things. Who can register the breeder? For example, everybody knows that HMT rice is being invented by a farmer from the Gondia, but he has not been given the right because the agriculture university people taken the everything from him, and then they have taken the patent in their own name. So, but here, if you use this rights, then breeders or farmers or universities or agriculture institutes can apply for this. So for about 15 years for annual crops, and for 18 years for trees and vines, you can get a patent. For example, recently there is a place in near to Nagpur is a Katul, and there is a huge big fruit farm is there, and the people have developed the people from who are working in that farm agriculture department has developed the sweet orange variety, and that is called as Katol Gold. The name is Katol and Gold. The sweet orange looks like very like no golden things. बिल्कुल सोने की तरह चमकता है वो मौसम्बी, or they have get that registered variety there, and this variety because of its good characteristics it is being spread all over in India. So after 18 years, they are going to again claim for the same things. So right to breeders also been given for the protection, sale, marketing, distribution, export, import will be given. So breeders or farmers can get a right for this. If the farmer who has done these things, the farmer will able to use it, sow it, resow it, exchange it, share or sell his farm produce, including seed in the same manner that he was entitled earlier. Okay, so here if the other people are using the same, the farmer can claim compensation from the plant breeder. So there are the researchers' right also, those who are involved in discovering or delivering the new varieties, they even do have their rights. A complete access or free access is there to protect the material for research using developing new varieties of the plant. Okay, so there are some international organizations are also there. The World Intellectual Property Organization and World Trade Organization, who is. So another most important and the last topic is transfer of technology, IPR licensing and the transfer of the technology. Always remember that whatever the patent, whatever the research you are going to do is for the societal use, and if it is of the societal use, it can come into the public domain, and that technology can be transferred to the wider group of researchers and engineers, and create a market presence for technology or the trademark. So there are licensing conditions for IPRs. So IPR, owner of IPR can prefer to transfer of technology through licensing the agreements. All rights are very limited. They are with the exclusive rights or non-exclusive rights. Means only they are allowed to have some part to produce, but not all the brand. So that is depend upon the inventor or applicator or who are interested to sell the license to the other company. Most of the agreements will provide the royalty payments to the from the company. Royalty can be upfront. एक तो डायरेक्ट बेच सकते हैं, फुल टाइम एक वन टाइम में बेचा है. फॉर एग्जांपल if I talk with about my patent which is being transferred to the company, so I have sold in a one's price full. I have given a full honor right because I cannot take money on a sale because it's an institutional patent. So if a person who is having its personal patent, he can give a right that how much of the sale on a sale he can ask remuneration or a percentage on production or sale he can ask, or so different type of methods you can ask while selling of transferring the technology to the companies. So here there is a very very important thing that you should be very careful about competition law. The same thing, same patent, same thing, it should be. Yeah, so this is only the example. For example, some institutes are there who are selling their technologies and getting huge money from consultancy or like of things. It's all mostly the foreign universities. But if you see the ICSR has developed a $150 million in milestone payments and with royalty also. So by just giving the consultancy things to others, we can earn a lot of money because of technology transfer. So this is nothing but it is a research finding, knowledge, intellectual things, such as who is a creator, universities and research institution, private partners will be there. So agreement should be with the thing always been there. You must have some knowledge about how the technology has been transferred to the company, which type of things you want to transfer, which type of things you want to keep with you is depend upon the agreement. So if you give a transfer of ownership of patent from owner to the assignee, okay, you need a MOU between these two people. So if the person who want to get remuneration from that can think of giving the exclusive right, all grants, all rights are given to them, or co-exclusive time, भैया आधा तुम लो आधा मैं लूंगा, partly exclusive rights, non-exclusive right, or the non-exclusive with the option can be chalked out while transferring the agreement. You must have some confidentiality into the agreement. As you know that patent is granted for 20 years only. After that 20 years, you have to renew it. So that if you are transferring for 20 years, 10 years, then you must have a confidentiality agreement with the company, because after 20 years, this can come back to you. So there should be a collaborative research agreement. So there is a type of agreement, collaborative. For example, आधा आप काम करिए, आधा हम करेंगे. Like in universities or some research projects, this can be done. Some consultancy agreements will be there. Okay, I'll give you consultancy how to go for that, and if I'll give you some knowledge, then you can pay for me or to the university. Is a consultancy agreement. Some sponsored research agreement is also there. For example, R&D institutes will have sponsored research agreements. You know that some experiments you need, for some experiments you need some seeds, some materials that is being there, and you can ask the material transfer agreements. You have to sign there, and you can ask the materials which is being required for your research. Even the contract research will be there, no, for this much you can do, and later I can hire you for this work, and such type of things can be. Academic spin-off agreements also can be do. It's a newly created companies can be done on a newly technology developed by university or the research institution. So the license of IPR, which is being generated in the university, can be given. Here, the agreements can also be done by the startup. Now, a lot of fundings are available for startups. So you can have university research plus company for startup agreements, so that the half knowledge sharing can be done. Even the joint agreements, venture agreements can be done with two parties, and so that both of them can invest and can earn the economy. So this is a part of technology transfer, how you get money from the government, and then government used to give funding to the university or research institution, and then invention is there, and the technology has been developed, and then if you can give to non-exclusive right company and then exclusive right to company, it's on you how the options are available, and the sharing of money can be done in the future with the joint or the technology transfer. So yeah, I have just taken a review about all of these things, which is comes under the patent, the trademark, the technology transfer, and everything. May I now stop? I have completed from my side. Anybody do have questions can ask.
Thank you, ma'am. And participants, the forum is open for discussion. You can ask directly if any queries or the question to the ma'am, please. Yes, is there any questions or the queries? Friends, ma'am has described a very significant process for technology transfer because I have not tell you this is a very big achievement for our university because ma'am is the assets. We will already said ma'am is the asset for our university because her patent was commercialized, and I think in the month of February that program will be held in the presence of ma'am. If you could permit, shall I announce?
Yes, actually, it was a very big satisfactory thing for after doing research for last 15 years. I have a huge number of projects. I have done it. Somebody has given very wrong. In the initially my introduction, I have completed about 6 or 7 major research projects and 3 only minor projects. So Rajiv Gandhi has funded me in crores, and one of the in that I had about 4 5 patents, and one of the patent has been asked by US companies, some Indian companies, but one of my patent, which is for uh, herbal remedy for kidney stone, has been transferred to MS Appropriate Diet Therapy Center. It's in a Butti Bori, it's in Nagpur. And they have prepared the things, they have done all public things with all that, and inauguration of that product, that is SGBAU and Rajiv Gandhi Science and Technology and the company venture is being organized on 6th of February this next month. And for that, Dr. Anil Kakodkar, who is a Padma Vibhushan, who is coming on my request only, that he's going to inaugurate the things. For a small people like me, I think it's a big venture in my life that Padma Vibhushan Anil Kakodkar sir is coming, who is our chairman in Rajiv Gandhi Science and Technology. And now they are intended to give me a project, another project for urinary infections of 1.5 crores. So I think small people can also do a good thing in the life. Only the persistent consistency is required. I feel blessed that I have worked it and it comes to a true.
Thank you, ma'am. So participants, we have with us a very great and dynamic personality. So we have the opportunity for networking and grab this opportunity. If you have any queries or the question,
Yeah.
you can
I think
perhaps.
already the time has been done. Everybody is get 7 p.m. is there, and everybody is. I think no issue. We can meet sometimes. Sometimes we can talk. Sometimes in a very fresh mood also. From my side, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah. So I think there is no queries or the questions from participant sides. So now I conclude. Yes, Shirbat sir, please.
Good evening, ma'am. First
Good
of
evening,
all,
sir.
I congratulate you for your really great achievement. On the
Thank you,
behalf
sir.
of our Shankarlal Khandelwal College, we 3 colleagues are there. We congratulate
Okay.
you, ma'am. Really, you have a very good and nice presentation, which was very informative for we people. Even I got, I have some queries, but I got the answer from your presentation, ma'am. So thank you very much, ma'am. This is from
Okay.
me.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Ma'am, shall I conclude this session, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's an honor and pleasure to extend my heartfelt gratitude and sincere thanks to Professor Anita Patil, ma'am,
for conducting such a insightful and knowledgeful session and enlighten us on a very crucial topic that is very essential. Friends, we are coming to the drastic changes in the higher learning of education, and it is very important because the government is always saying that कि हमारे पास funding मांगने मत आइए, फंडिंग आपको खुद रेज करना होगा, फंडिंग आपको खुद रेज करना होगा, आपके इंस्टीट्यूट्स आपको सेल्फ फाइनेंसिंग करने होंगे. So this is a way we can contribute to the research and develop our funding. So ma'am is one of the best example. Madam has set down one of the best example before us to how to commercialize our research and how to commercialize our patents and how to generate the grants or the funding through the uh, through through the research consultancy. And ma'am, we are really thankful to you for enlightening us, and you have explained a complex topic in a very simplest way. So on
Yes,
behalf
always
of,
remember what not to do during patent. That is only the point.
yeah, thank you so much. And on behalf of Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center, I again extend my heartfelt gratitude and sincere thanks to Patil ma'am for being with us and enlighten us on such a huge topic. Ma'am, thank you so much. And
Okay,
friends,
thank you.
with this, we will conclude this session, and with the kind permission of Professor Patil ma'am, I would like to declare that this session will be over here, and we will meet tomorrow with our tomorrow schedule. Thank you. Thank you.